Hello, everyone. Before we get started on this week's episode, just a quick word that YouTube, in all its infinite wisdom, has decided that some of the Die Party games are now not suitable for advertising. It doesn't mean a whole lot for the content. I'm not going to censor the videos in any way, but if you'd like to lend your support so that Die Party can continue to grow, please check out the Patreon or subscribe on the Twitch channel. Enjoy the episode. Why, hello there. Listen to the deep, moist sounds of me and my friends.
What about pizza?
Guys, I'm doing my introduction. What the fuck?
We're negotiating a business deal, Dave.
All right.
How rude.
All right. Shut up. Hey guys, welcome to Die Party LA at Night, a weekly Vampire the Masquerade role-playing game that I do with me and my moist towelettes. So we're going to go around the room and describe, what function you serve as a moist towelette, as well as, on a scale from 1 to fucking, towel that you dropped in the bathtub by accident moist, we're going to be. All right. Tux for Damas. What up? How you doing?
Yo, I'm Tux. I am here. I'm ready to play. I'm middle of the road moist.
Like you're like the fucking the towel that you put on the floor of the hotel bathroom that you stand on. Yeah, you're that guy.
Because there's never a mat, but you don't want to slip and fall.
Yeah.
So you put a towel there.
Yeah, and also
that towel.
Did you know this maybe Brian might know this, but I don't know if our other bros might not know this, but the international symbol for yo, give me a new towel is throw that shit on the ground.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you didn't know that. So you're the throw the shit on the ground kind of moist towel.
Well, because a lot of hotels now will be like, hey, we don't want to do all of your laundry every day, so any towels that are hanging, we'll leave. Any towels that are on the floor, we'll take.
Yeah.
They put
environmentally conscious thing.
So I always throw them on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
It is not an environmentally conscious thing. It is it saves the money thing. You can bet your bottom dollar.
They say on the thing we're conscious about the environment, so we don't want to use a lot of water.
Sure.
It's a little column A, little column B.
Yeah, but you don't know if they're throwing in that stuff with the same rag that the next door neighbor wiped his spooge on. So you have no idea.
That's why it's I mean, I throw my clothes in with the same rag that I wipe my spooge on. So you just have to trust the cleaning chemicals to get the job done.
Nothing can get
rid of a rag?
Look, wreckage. Nothing can get rid of your shame. Okay, no chemical on the face of the planet can get rid of your shame.
Whoa! You use a rag?
Bleach?
I mean, it.
Wait, Arrow. You just not Arrow. Fucking Arrow. I saw him in the chat and I instantly went.
No. So, here's what you do. You'd go out in the backyard, you dig a hole, you go in there.
You come in the hole and then
bury it. And then another you grows.
That's not how that works, and I bet you've tried and failed. It's not just your green thumb.
Sure.
You don't just Spider-Man the wall like a lazy fucking.
No, it's just that it's once whatever you use, becomes a rag once you use it for that. That's the problem. Is that you use anything and then it it is defined as a rag at that point.
Spoot.
I don't like this conversation.
How are you? What type of moist towelette are you, my man? Are you the
I'm the kind of moist towelette that gets the sauce out of your beard.
So you're the fucking KFC moist towelette in a packet at all times.
I come in a little packet.
You rip you open and you're moist and good to go,
Yeah, but I'm one of those ones that's only moist for about 3 seconds.
Yeah, or you open it up and
and then dry.
Yeah, you open it up and it goes.
Yeah. I'm the kind of towel that feels like dry sandpaper rubbing on your body. It's so you know I'm there.
I love this introduction. This is my favorite one I've ever done. Oh my god. All right, Wreckage.
Mm-hmm.
My man.
Yeah?
What type of moist towelette are you?
Now, I was going to shoot this down and be like, this is stupid and not participate, but I can see that it's causing you joy, and I do also enjoy causing you joy, not just pain.
Okay.
So I'm the type of moist towelette that is kept in a like a steaming silver dome and is being held by a butler.
Oh, you're the moist towelette you get at the barber shop. Oh my god, dude.
And then they take off the steaming dome. It's like, moist towelette, sir and or madame.
Okay, I went to a rib place, and they gave me a moist towelette at the end. A rib place,
like a hot one, like
a hot one for your fingers. It was fucking just like, you're that one. Okay, wreckage. Winner. Rib steak dinner.
Yeah. Well, it's pretty easy when the other two were like, I'm just a fucking Wendy's,
Wendy's comrade.
Yeah, just fucking so easy.
I don't know.
See what happens next time you're in a hotel and you don't have a towel there.
Yeah.
Fall and hit your head in the toilet.
Yeah, that's right.
Boom.
Yeah, or you get super drunk and fall asleep in the jacuzzi and die.
That is the one-to-one of what happens if you don't have a towel. You die.
Don't forget to bring a towel.
Every hoopy fruit knows where his towel is.
All right, so there's a couple of things I want to talk about before we go any further. First, I watched Interview with a Vampire. I actually watched it.
Excellent.
I have so many questions.
Okay, why don't you ask me some of those questions? Because I actually know a lot about Interview with an Vampire.
Question number one: how the fuck were they like playing with fire the entire time? They was like, I gotta burn this fucking house down, man. Like, you know what I mean?
They are not World of Darkness vampires.
Okay, but if we take that World of Darkness stuff, right? Let's say it's like fucking that age. How the fuck did they walk around at night? They didn't have torches or electricity. They must have had candles.
Right. Yeah. So, Dark Ages vampire has, so basically my understanding is that Dark Ages vampire has slightly different rules for the Red Fear as a result of the commonplace nature of fire. And it's like you, in the era that you're in, you see fire so little that seeing a little bit of it scares you more. Right. Like, when
can
it's
they not see better at night?
A lot of them can, but not all species of vampire or clans of vampire have. There's a couple powers that let you see better at night, but otherwise you're just a normal dude at night. Like you're there's a couple of lines that are like you see as good as any human could see at night, like, just by being a vampire, which is still better, but it doesn't let you. You don't have like what is it in the D&D verse, like dark sight or whatever, can see in total darkness or whatever. You don't have that.
Yeah, I honestly thought the vampire they did a pretty good job of like being all like there's like the stakes don't do shit, crucifix don't do shit.
Yeah, Toreador.
Yeah,
Mr. K-Fix is completely correct that the vampire clan that is represented in Interview with the Vampire is Toreador.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, 100%. Because there's like, bleh, everything tastes like shit, except for the high society. I thought it was a pretty interesting.
The reason they're Toreador, by the way, I'm gonna cut you off because the sequel is crazy. I don't know if they ever made a movie, but it was based on a book, and the book series keeps going on. At the end, when the guy with the interview is, spoiler alert, by the way,
no, there's people in the chat that's haven't seen it yet, and I want them to watch it.
So I'm saying spoiler alert. No, I'm saying spoiler alert. So people in the chat who haven't seen it, take your headsets off for a second here. Mm-hmm. At the very end of the movie, after he's done taking Brad Pitt's interview, he's driving away, and what's his face is in the car and noms on him, and it's the first human blood that he's had in forever.
You mean Lisette?
Yeah. So Lisette comes back and is driving off, and it's like, oh look, Lisette's back.
Yeah, he's
Christian Slater.
It was
Christian Slater.
It was Christian Slater. Yeah. It was all like, I don't think I need any introduction, and I was like, oh cool.
Lisette is then revitalized by that blood because it's the first human blood he's had in forever, as we've seen before. He goes on to form an 80s hair band. Hold on a second. He goes on in the sequel to form an 80s hair band, which plays a song so radical that it wakes the vampire queen from her 1,000-year slumber.
It's Queen of the Dam, right? I'm pretty sure they made a movie of that.
I don't know if they made a movie about that, but that's what this happens in the sequel.
Queen of the Damned, yeah. It had
but she's a Tory, like it's Toreador, like they're Toreadors because they care about music and art and like that's the type of vampire that we deal with in that movie. Anyway, we've been sidetracked by that for a little while. Do you have another question about it, Dave? You said you had a couple.
No, I think you pretty much answered them all. Like,
all right.
I was gonna say, hey, what clan are they? But you know, you make a good point. Last thing I want to talk about, I literally just came out of the movie, Blade Runner, the new one.
Yeah.
Literally just saw it. 3 hours long. What the fuck, man? Like, it was 3 hours long. Oh my god. Anyway,
I need to see that. Yeah,
it's sitting down for a Lord of the Rings type evening.
But I was sitting there just being like, it's kind of like when you play a shitty D&D game. That's the way I describe that movie. When it's like, hey man, you gotta try and find this dude, and you're like, sweet, how do I do that? Well, there's a clue here. I can tell you about it. And you're like, cool. And it's like, but you didn't really get the DC that I set, so I'm gonna lead you on a wild goose chase for 7 weeks. And you're just like, fuck. Like that's what it felt like. It felt like the GM was just fucking with you the entire time.
Did the main android runner, I can't remember his name, but did he run around like Rutger Hauer does in the original, where he's like all goofy running and shit? Because that's the best part.
No, but old Harrison Ford runs like a goofy fuck.
Oh, Harrison Ford is in it? I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, he's in it, yeah.
So that's
why all these fucking movies are getting. This is why all these fucking movies are getting made. It's Harrison Ford. We all know his time is coming. Let's milk him for every sequel we can with old man him.
Is it the same story as the original, or is it like a sequel?
It's a sequel.
It's a sequel. It's like 30 years later or some shit like that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's.
Okay.
I don't know. There's more interesting subplots than the main story in that movie, which is kind of weird. Like a movie having a subplot that's more interesting than the actual main plot. But you know, whatever. But yeah, that's it. That's all I wanted to talk about. Yeah.
Right. All right then. So on to the show.
Blade runtime 152. I'm stealing that right fucking now.
I'm rolling in my seats. I'm rolling on the floor, laughing my ass off.
You are?
No, I'm not. It wasn't that funny.
I thought it was pretty good.
Anyway, right. So the show, we've killed quite enough time.
Yeah.
Last week on LA at Night, the Quijin arc, you guys had post-hence busted into a illegal. Oh look, Irisido is interrupting me again with the most amazing fan art to date.
Wow, that's fucking
color.
awesome.
The most recent fan art to date.
Damn.
Oh, come on, give it its due.
Damn.
Look
I
at how
haven't looked at it
gorgeous
yet.
it is.
That's
Ooh.
I got a question for you, Arasada. How long did it take versus how long did the cleavage take?
Having been given a sketch of her almost immediately after I described her with plenty of cleavage, I can tell you that Arisido's cleavage game is on point.
He shaded the boobs for
Yeah, I was saying
7
there's even
hours.
a shadow in there.
From
Cleavage took the 80%. Yeah.
from what I've heard, I'm assuming the scales and the dress took a long ass time.
Yeah, I believe he mentioned using some sort of cheat to get those in.
Makes sense then.
Also, look at that snake-themed jewelry.
Yeah, it's real good.
What is she trying to get as many souls as she can?
She
Dark Souls reference. Got him.
Arisido nailed this character with minimal input from me. I was like, yeah, basically what I described is what you heard. Also, you know, she's a little...
Oh.
And then he was like, boom, this. And I was like, yes, that is her. Good job. Yeah. last week on LA at Night, we crossed paths with this lady, not literally. We did it through a shot that only the audience saw.
Yeah.
And she's gorgeous and also commanding and deadly.
She would be my girlfriend if she was real, that type of woman,
Yeah, the powerful commands a multinational conglomerate. Yeah, that's who my girlfriend would be.
She was in LA, you wouldn't know her.
And
here's
also
a
she's
picture of her, but this is just an artist rendition of her, man. Don't worry about it. Like,
I had her picture painted for our anniversary.
is that your signature on the bottom? Nah, man, just an artist who has a similar signature, Don't worry about it.
It's like
my next character is gonna sound like this, brah. I like it,
brah.
You stole my character voice for Surge, Dave.
Damn.
All right. Well, we'll have to kill Damien so we can get to that little treasure. You stole information from one of her sub companies or someone she was dealing with, and you found an email.
You can't prove that.
Well, you found an email that proves that something nefarious was happening on a specific date on a specific shipping container. And from out of shot, we saw that this little break-in is going to make them move up their timeline. The classic villain response to the thing that the hero does. As
Samuel L. Jackson says, it's going to be very expensive, and Samuel L. Jackson's like, I don't give a fuck.
Wasn't it wreckage? Wasn't it like a red bag or something like that, or a red box? Like, wasn't it described in the email what it looked like?
Nope, it was a code red.
Oh, okay.
Treat this shipment as a code red.
Gotcha.
They didn't describe what was being shipped, but your new friend Morty or Monty or whatever I named him, he said, yeah, that type of shipping, that thing was like half loaded, and you'd never ship it across the Pacific half loaded. You'd just be wasting money. So you're pretty sure that whatever is going on with the Kuei-jin has to do with that shipment. And more importantly, you're very sure that you've been reassured by both Amethyst and Monty that, like, if you can just get this information, that'll be enough for Elysium. Like, if you can just be like, this is what the Kuei-jin are up to, and come back with that, that will be enough to, like, silence your detractors and give the people who are trying to vote for you in the first place enough ammo to make it work.
Yeah, but we have a go-getting former detective in our party.
We're overachievers.
Yeah. I mean, we need to be 11, which is literally, I just heard a dude talk to me, and now I'm the best. So we need to beat that shit. We need to put that in the grave. You know what I'm saying?
Know I'm saying.
Good luck.
Damn, Maria, you sound very masculine today.
So that is not an okay way to describe somebody. Like, all right, so coming into character after recaps now, and the brilliant Aracito art. Thank you so much.
It's fantastic.
We've gone to bed after a night of people talking and chatting with each other and getting to know each other. And it is now the next day, and Amethyst is going to show up at the Taste, like just an hour after sunset or so. And she'll walk in. People, as far as customers, haven't really showed up yet. It's still like people are still just waking up. And the Taste doesn't serve eggs mixed with blood or anything like that. But so she'll take a seat and put her feet up and be like, all right, so what's the plan? Big stretch. Woo!
So we know when this is out of character. We know when the shipment's coming, right?
No, you know when the shipment was. Past tense.
Okay.
Like it already happened.
Oh, yeah, it's already happened. Okay.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Is there a way that I could bloodhound with my dog?
No. Your dog is not a bloodhound.
But it is a dog that I can pump vampire stuff into.
Right. You do not have the power that gives animals that power.
Right. So that is something that you can do. I just don't have access to it.
You can
I actually have animalism.
You have animalism, which means you could talk to animals, which is helpful, but your blood still wouldn't make animals more powerful. You need well, I suppose Auspex eventually, if it actually seeps into your dog, will help a little bit. But there's a particular, if you're a gangrel and you make ghoul animals, all of their animalistic traits increase by like 100-fold. So, like, if their dog would be a super amazing bloodhound.
Yeah. Could I get Auspex 3 just for tonight?
Just for tonight?
Uh-huh.
Why?
Because
wait, you have Auspex 2 now?
Yeah, I've had Auspex.
2. He hasn't been going into.
No, I only have Auspex 1.
Okay.
Oh.
I bump it up by 2 just for tonight, and then I'll go back to 1.
No.
Oh man.
Are you trying to get Auspex 2? Is that the next thing you want?
No, Auspex 3 would solve this problem immediately.
Oh, would it?
Yeah, because Auspex 3 is I touch a thing and look into its history.
But we don't have a thing to touch.
We could find the thing, the code red, the Mountain Dew code red.
Right, but you haven't yet. Seemingly finding it is the problem.
Like there was no clues like who was picking it up or anything. Like
no, you can get the whole shipping manifest. You can get the whole where it landed and made birth and where it is now, and like you can get all of that, no problem. Like the exact shipment. Monty helped you with that. Mm-hmm. So,
right, but I'm saying we don't know where it got. We don't know who picked it up and where it went once it came ashore.
Well, but what is it? Like you don't even know what the it is. Right. Maybe it's still on the ship. Maybe it's still in like a warehouse nearby. Because you don't even know what it is.
What was the date that the ship landed? Like how many days ago did the ship get in?
The ship got in 4 or 5 days ago.
Oh, so there's no way it's still on the ship. I mean, if this was a hot thing that they wanted taken care of, they're not going to let it sit there for 4 fucking days.
Unless that's the safest place.
I'm gonna check it out, I guess.
I mean, that's the only lead we have.
Yeah.
I mean, nose to the grind. That's really all you can do in these situations. So, I mean, the more stuff we find, the better it's gonna be, I guess. So
maybe we can find a very observant dock worker who.
Well, the good news with that plan is that the docks are not, owned by the Kui Jin.
Huzzah.
There might be some
usage rights
cameras I could tap into.
There might be usage rights and etc., but we won't be in their territory, so they won't be able to suddenly leap us with like 50 vampires.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So
sounds like a plan.
To the docks then, for various amounts of Scooby Dooing.
Sure. I mean, realistically, that's all we have, right? So let's work with what we got.
All right. What week is it, Dave?
In the game?
Yep.
I think it's like week 16.
All right. Took 16 weeks to get to the docks.
Let me just double check. We are on week 16, yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah. All right. Just, I'm just wanting everyone to be mentally caught up. That's how long it took us to go to the docks.
Is that a thing?
Yeah. You always go to the docks in a World of Darkness game. You always go down to the docks for the thing.
Okay.
He's just being a bitch. Don't worry about it.
I'm not being a bitch. I'm not trying to. I'm trying to big up this achievement. I'm trying to make. I'm trying to momentize it, not be like.
I thought you were being pops up in the corner. Went to the docks. Achievement unlocked.
Yeah, I'm trying to make this a big deal, not underplay it or undersell it.
How many achievement points is it worth?
It's just a bronze trophy.
So what, like 5 points? Fuck you, game.
It's common. Like,
well, it's a story one.
89% of players have gotten this.
It's one of those achievements that the developers are just using to see how far along their people are playing their game.
Nice.
Completed stage 5. Completed stage 6.
And it's like you got the achievement, made peace with the wizards, but it's like that's also a story one. It's just there's 2 story ones. It's like where the other one is like eradicated the wizards.
Yeah. Like, oh, now I gotta play it again. Fuck.
You should have just saved state, bro.
Yeah, next time I'll make a custom character instead of racist cop. See how that works.
Yeah, I feel a little limited by the pre-made.
I'm gonna mod it so that I can be La Sombra, you know.
There you go.
So to the docks. Behold, for you are at the docks. It is every docks that you've ever seen in any video game or noir movie. A bunch of warehouses and cranes and ships are docked. And the only the significant difference is that this is a major shipping hub. So like there are the huge shipping container ships, the ones that can do, you know, tens and tens and tens of thousands of ships.
Sure.
Containers.
So we know like the ship and the numbers, like are they like labeled? Is there like a ships 24 through 30 or this way or like?
Well, I mean, without any sort of role, you can eventually parcel it together if your objective is to find if that particular ship is docked, and that particular ship is still docked. So it is there because it's one of those massive ones. It doesn't just have like a gangway set up to the dock. You know what I mean?
Yeah. While we're like approaching it, could I like check it out to see if like make sure there's not like it's not like Watch Dogs or GTA where it's like, oh look, there's a bunch of people with guns on the ship.
Oh, you want to like
make sure that no one's like waiting on it to make like see if anyone's like obviously guarding it, I guess is what
you have auspex, but do you also have binoculars?
No.
Okay. That's gonna make it.
I have binoculars, Wreckage. It has been stated in this game previously that I do in fact have binoculars.
It has been. So
that
if you
true.
Anybody who is using the binoculars, anyone who is using the binoculars can and has auspex, which is Dave.
Sorry,
but Dave can if Dave fails, he can just pass the binoculars over.
Yeah,
to
we'll do the thing where I'll like look and then he'll like grab it and they'll still be connected to my neck and he'll be like, ah.
Yeah, okay, all right, exactly.
Yeah.
So like Shaun of the Dead, he looks out the door. Are they out there? No, and then he kind of like looks to the right a bit, like, oh yeah, there they are.
So, adding an additional dice to your pool mod for this particular thing, I need you to make a perception investigation roll.
Oh boy, this is the actual thing I'm actually good at. Who would have fucking thought? And I get an extra dice.
You get the extra dice, but the difficulty is 8.
With binoculars and auspex?
You can't even make the roll without binoculars.
I got this shit, man. I got this shit. Let's go.
Tell me what you see, Davey.
Damn!
Oh!
That's the sound of me shooting Aristotle in the face. Fuck you, Aristotle.
What's wrong with Aristotle?
He calls my fucking ones out every time.
4 ones calling it. Okay. Well, I mean,
it's fine. It's fine.
You got a lot of 2s, I guess. Anyway,
they're not ones.
So, you're gonna see something. You can say it. You can say, of course, like, you know, I saw this thing, and then you can still hand it to Maria for her to make a roll too if she wants. But anyway, what you see is like, especially through a couple of the portholes, there are definitely those same Yakuza / mafiosos that you encountered the other evening on the ship, but they're not guarding it in like an NPC.
I like the idea.
patrol.
The only reason that I know is because I'm looking for like, stereotypical shit because I'm racist. So I'm looking through my glasses and I'm like looking around and
you
and
see
then there's
through
like
one-
6 of them just like doing like the like, with their shirts off and they got like their tribal tattoos of snakes and shit. Like,
they're not. They're like you're
that's what I was
looking through
expecting to find though.
You're looking through like a porthole and you see like some of them are clearly playing poker and then a couple others are smoking on the deck.
They're not playing poker. They're playing the fucking
No, they're playing
dominoes.
poker, Dave.
They're playing dominoes.
Dave,
No.
and it's not dominoes, it's mahjong, and that's not a fun game to play in a group. They're playing poker.
Did we establish? I'm sorry, I don't remember this, but did we establish that these Yakuza guys, are they human or vampire?
They made no revelation to being vampiric.
We have no idea, and we don't have. None of us have aspects too, so we can't.
We tricked them by throwing a body out of a building, so I assume they're humans.
Right. Yeah. They fell for a trick that a vampire would be less likely to fall for, but that doesn't mean a couple stupid vampires wouldn't.
Sure.
After the episode, we get like after the credits scene of like the Yakuza sitting in a room, a guy with a fucking extended stick. He whacks a blackboard, and he's just like, "Don't fall for this again. Don't fall for this again." And it's like, if they throw bodies out the door, you go the other way.
Dave, could you stop?
This is that much of shit.
If we could avoid the breakfast at Tiffany's stuff, that'd be great.
Wow. I got that reference.
Okay, Mickey Rooney.
Finally, a racist accent.
Only took 16 weeks.
Yeah, we went to the docks. It's a special episode. I got to pull it out, man.
So, you see them hanging on a deck, smoking, like playing poker below deck. There's not a lot. And as I wanted to make very clear, they're not patrolling the ship in an NPC video game way. Like, they're clearly not here to guard it from a player character's infiltration. They are clearly here to, because they've been assigned to it and they're killing time, right? Like, hypothetically, the goal for them to be assigned here is to make sure that like some of their boys are on security or whatever, but they clearly don't foresee a particularly big issue with.
I really like the idea that if I failed this, like if I got like what do they call it, a blunder or something?
Botch.
A botch, yeah. If I got a botch, I like the idea that I'm looking through my binoculars and I spy a guy who's looking through his binoculars right at me, and we're just like, fuck. I don't know what I thought about.
Wreckage, is there like a main office for the docks that might have the CRT screens with like security cameras and stuff?
Yeah, you can head towards that sort of.
You're gonna go be our
thing.
tank. I like that.
So, well, no, I would say, so.
Yo, there's a Yakuza coming from the
Braden
left.
will kind of gather Maria and Damien and be like, listen, if you guys want to stake out this ship, that's cool. I think I might head over to like the security shack or something, see if I can't, look over
security shack.
Review the last few, skip through the last few.
Is that like a stuffer shack?
And see if I see anything shady going on, and maybe I could pinpoint down who picked up whatever this package is.
Yeah, you go do that. That's a great idea.
Who said that?
Amethyst.
Oh. You don't want to come with me? Or, I mean, there's room for two.
Yeah, Rodney will go with you. Won't you, Rodney? Yeah.
God damn it. Come on, Rodney.
Yeah, I want to be with you anyway. I want to go on the ship.
It'll be fun.
If we're
Rodney's like, I get seasick even when the ship's not moving.
No. Rodney's like, I don't want to go on the ship.
All right.
If we're really lucky,
hey, there might be some good food in there too. You know what I'm saying?
I don't, middle-aged, white, balding security guard who hasn't really accomplished anything with his life. They're
the best. You can taste the failure.
Okay, you're weird. So with the group at the ship, are you boarding the ship, or is there more spy work to be done? Are you taking the binoculars? Are you taking a look? Or are you satisfied with Damien's appraisal of the situation?
I probably won't be able to get more than 2 successes because I'd be rolling 3 dice.
Oh, you'll probably get 3 successes.
I mean, it is that would, right? As is tradition.
I'll be right back.
Actually, you'd be rolling 4 dice, but that's still unlikely.
Oh, yeah, 4.
That's still unlikely to beat him.
No, yeah.
Well, you know what? He's walking away anyway, so we can't advance the plot. Why don't you make the roll anyway? I mean, he's just stepped away entirely. It makes it quite difficult.
3 successes.
8, you said?
Yep.
Exactly the same. Look at there.
Yep.
I would have gotten 3 if it hadn't
been
that
1.
Damn it.
You would have had 3.
Damn
I would
it.
have called that shit.
Damn it.
You see the exact same thing. You're quite certain that they are not patrolling. They're just there. Like, you can see from here, and between you and Dave, you would really easily know if you went on board the vessel, like which rooms to avoid. And also, like, they have a clearly designated, like, take 2 steps up deck to go smoke outside. Like, they have a very clear place where that's happening. So if you avoid those 2 places, you will probably not run into any Yakuza at all.
Okay, cool. Totally.
So Amethyst is pretty gung-ho to board the ship. Is that what we're doing?
Let's do this thing. I think I probably point that out too. Like, there and there, it looks like they've got a little cycle. So if we go around those, we should be okay.
Amethyst grabs you by the waist.
Huh.
Huh.
You stare into her eyes for a moment, maybe blush.
I like sort of look them both up and down. I'm just like,
Amethyst throws Maria like 1,000 feet onto the deck of the ship, and she's like, "There's no gangway."
Right.
Need a toss?
Yeah, fucking throw me. Actually,
all right, Damien, she'll throw you.
Yeah, and, you know what? I take out phone. I take a selfie, send it to fucking Braden.
No cell phone selfies yet.
Damn it! Yeah, you're right, but I wish I could.
I wish you could too.
In the moment, you're just like, wow, what if I could take a picture of myself in this moment with my phone?
Mm-hmm.
Boy, that would be the day.
Send it to Braden and make him feel terrible for going to the security shack.
I like the idea that this is a very elaborate, like, fuck you to Braden, because, like, I take a picture with a camera, and then, like, the next montage of me just, like, fucking developing it, just, like, slowly in the red room, putting it up on a peg, just hanging it there, just letting it dry, and then, you know, just slapping it on a table in front of Braden.
But then
like,
it would just be, but then it would just be a picture of Amethyst holding her arms out like this.
No, she'd be happy in the photo.
No, because you can't be in a picture.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
No, I like the idea that we go through the whole montage. Right? We go through the whole montage, and then at the end, I'm looking at the phone. I'm just like, God fucking damn it!
Damn it!
Shit! Ass cocks. Right. So Amethyst, you'll have to toss me. Don't tell the elf. And you're both on the ship, and then in a moment later, Amethyst lands more silently than you know, because she's the one doing it. Next to you on the deck of this massive shipping vessel, which means that it's just a huge, wide open deck with shipping containers on it. And a couple of things might stand out immediately. They said that the ship was underloaded, but it seems to be literally stem to stern shipping containers.
What is it? Just real quickly, I would have noticed this because detective and shit. You mentioned that it was lightly loaded, but what is the weight? Like, you know how ships go deeper and deeper in the water, and certain ships have better weight just position and stuff like that. Like heavily loaded ships are lower in the water than lighter loaded ships. Like what are we looking at there?
Right. Well, it's it's a massive like thousand ton vessel as it is.
But they would have painted measurements on the side. They actually do that on ships.
Right. I'll take your word for it. In which case,
I mean, you could also say it's water darkness, get fucked, Dave, and I'd be like, okay, that's a pretty good explanation. But like,
I could say that, but I don't actually care. Like, I want you to know this because I've already pointed it out in another way. Yes, it is stemmed to certain shipping containers, but no, it's not as low in the water as it should be for that.
Okay, so it's not like they're carrying like fucking like Nazi gold or something like this on this thing.
The opposite. Like most of these must be empty, and even so, they must be carrying something incredibly light or something, because it is, like I said, it's one of those really, really long shipping containers that does millions of shipping containers, and it's not low in the water at all.
Now, if I was to run the numbers in my head being a detective, would a lot of people, like if they were bringing in people, for example.
Oh, tens of thousands.
Yeah.
Like,
would that be enough to weigh down a ship, or is that not heavy enough to do that? Roughly. Like, I'm just doing like quick detective math in my brain, so like you can tell.
Well,
me
if the people were still on the ship, it would be enough to lower it a little bit. But actually, people are pretty light.
Okay.
Like, comparatively, their density. I guess the question, the real question is the density of a person is low. So for the amount of space they take up, they don't generate a shit ton of weight, like say a car. Or vehicles or weapons, etc. But also probably wouldn't take you, bumbling chucklefucks, to notice if this thing had transported in like tens of thousands of Yakuza, or vampires even. Like the people would notice that sort of influx of people.
See, what I'm thinking it is, and this is just me being a fucking pedantic water darkness motherfucker, I think they're bringing in fucking blood bags, like human blood stuff, for whatever reason. And they're doing like an underground, like, drug blood vampire thing. Like, if I was, doing that sort of stuff, like if I was trying to run a vampire money making scheme, it would be around blood, and they seem like the perfect type of gang to like try and bring in like lots and lots of different types of blood, and maybe even like, you know what I mean? Like it just seems like something that a water darkness villain would do. But
are you saying this out loud?
When you learn a thing about the Kui Jin, like anything about the Kui Jin, you're going to be shocked.
It's a skin farm. Okay.
Maria, well, Tux is asking out of character if you are saying those things in character out loud.
You've probably known this about Damien for a while now, that he just sort of like airs things. He doesn't really say them to people in particular.
Right.
Maybe when
so you are vocalizing them is the point.
I like the idea that when I was looking through like the glasses, I'll be saying things like that, like could be blood bag, could be fucking blood bags or something like that, like it could be just tons of people. There's lots of things a ship like that could hold on it, like things like that, basically.
Should we try to get one open?
Maybe like when we're landing, I'm just like, it's a great idea. We should. What do you think, Amethyst? Do you think it's worthwhile finding out what's in these things?
Kink.
Seems she does.
Alrighty.
It's empty.
But what about like, is there like people sign of people, like maybe a poop?
No, it's empty. Like it's empty. There's no dust or sawdust or wood or scrapes on it. It's empty.
What about water?
No. It's empty.
What does it smell like?
It's clean.
Or you wouldn't be able to know that anyway, Tux, unless you.
No, but like,
he's got Auspex on.
Does it smell like nothing, or does it smell like bleach, or like it has been cleaned?
No, it smells like nothing. It smells like unused.
Okay.
Well, maybe they're taking something out of this place then.
Well, the shipping order was for the special code red was for China to LA, not LA to China.
What about if it's like, just a giant cover up for one thing? It would look suspect if they brought in like, just one thing on a big shipping container. But what about if the weight ratio is just like maybe they needed a really heavy duty ship to bring one really heavy thing, but they made it look like there was more than just one thing on here?
Amethyst is just sort of idly tapping her hand on the shipping container at this point, and just sort of like cling, cling, cling.
Amethyst. So what about if we go like knock a few skulls and get some information that way? Are you opposed to that, or like?
Let's try and avoid that. Like we might get to it, but if they never knew we were here, that's best.
Out of character. So, can you go over the details of like what the shipment was again? It was like, code red delivery from China, or was it just code red send big ship now, or like?
It literally said the shipment for this date and time and place will be code red. You'll get this. They'll get this payment for it. Standard operating, like the code red was a known thing. You know what to do when it's code red. Do those things and you will get paid. But this particular shipment has to be that. And then
is it a shame?
It was Monty who then post facto took that information from the email, looked up that shipping vessel, and saw that its outgoing weight and its incoming weight, like it was so low for the tonnage of vessel that was being used, it doesn't make any sense.
What about like the type of tools that are on the outside of the ship to take things off of it? Because there's no gangway.
Like it's all standard. Like, and none of this is owned by like the Kui Jin. Like this is all the LA Port Authority.
So it wasn't anything like heavy duty or nothing out there.
Oh, there is. There's one of those giant four-legged like blue things that rolls over and can pick up like a gazillion.
But that's pretty standard, right?
Yeah, that's standard, and it belongs to the Port Authority, and they're going to be unloading shipping containers. It looks like over the next.
Are specs going to help us know what's been moved recently? Like, if we were to look at a place, are we going to be able to see like scratch marks,
scuff marks? Yeah, like you could absolutely look for scuff marks.
But so it was worded like it was a delivery, not like it was like.
It was like special circumstances. Yeah, like this for this shipment, you know what to do. It's code red.
Okay.
All right.
Because the idea that it was like that they're taking something out of here kind of makes sense, but like, if it was like this is a code red, take care of it immediately, and like nothing's here yet, it would be All
right, let's look for some scuff marks. See what we can find.
To see if anything like well, you'll see right away that.
By the way, did our willpower max out again?
No,
because we finished an arc.
That happened
from the arc. It did.
Ago.
If you haven't spent any willpower since then yeah.
Okay.
From the end of the Sin Eaters arc, that's when it maxed out.
Yeah, I haven't
which was
spent any
now
willpower
episodes ago.
Yeah.
So,
can I open a couple more?
Sure, they're all empty.
Okay, so I opened like 3 more, and they're all every single one's empty and like.
You have to force unused. A couple of them too. Like it looks like it's not.
Like they haven't been open in a while. Are they padlocked at all? Are they locked? Or what's going on?
No, they don't seem to have bothered with that for some reason. Like none of them are locked, but some of them clearly haven't been opened in a while.
Right.
For those of you looking for scuff marks, some of them clearly have.
Okay. How many? If we did like, okay. What about scuff marks like dented boxes or something like that, or maybe like, just obvious like this is not right, sort of things. Like this doesn't look uniform, or maybe there's like I don't know. Here's the thing. Like this is probably all like just us running around in circles because what are we gonna find knowing that there's a box missing?
Well, it's like you're assuming what you're looking for in that case. You don't know what you're looking for yet.
Well, it's obviously going to be a crate, or it's going to be something inside of one of these crates because...
Not necessarily.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Maria.
Sure.
What are you thinking?
It's really weird for these to be completely empty and unused when this ship got here. 5 days ago or whatever. I guess unless they loaded them on since then.
I want to point something out, but I'm concerned that the mere act of pointing it out will take away the opportunity for you guys to figure it out yourselves.
I mean, I have common sense traits, so you go ahead.
You don't, but if you did, it would be that shipping containers have a door at the front and the back.
Okay, I'm not entirely sure what that would... I mean, we're opening the crates. Are you saying that some of these have a false back and we haven't noticed them?
Not a false back. They all have a front and back door. And no one said I opened the other door.
Okay, but normally a shipping container wreckage is like just an empty box and both sides open.
Yeah.
So if we open one side and we saw through to the door on the other side, why would we open the other side?
I know.
Did we going into the container to look around? Did we notice anything about the other door?
It's a door. It's to a shipping container.
How are they laid out?
They are laid out horizontal, like so that they're pointed towards the sides of the ship.
Is this is this going to be the same thing where we were at the fucking the rave where like it was like looks like shipping containers, but we went inside and it was actually like a fucking giant room?
Do you try one of the doors?
Yes, Records, I try one of the fucking
Is it like
doors.
container like this?
Well, he tries one of the doors and it opens into an empty space inside. The entire stack of shipping containers on the vessel is hollow, and the shipping containers are... it was foreshadowed earlier.
So why exactly does one side open to an empty container and the other side open to a big box? Is that magic?
Because that is how it would work, right? So imagine you have all of these shipping containers stacked, but there is actually only the outermost layer of shipping containers.
Oh, that's how they're laid out. Okay. That makes sense then.
You, like, the outermost layer of shipping containers is still empty, but you open the second door to get inside the giant room created by the shipping containers.
I misunderstood. I didn't know there was like big pile. I thought they were like laid out.
See, this is my favorite part about role-playing games.
Okay.
Right. The big pile is how shipping containers are normally stacked. Okay. So I just assumed without saying anything.
Then that totally makes sense then.
Yes. Right. So there is now large interior space on this ship inside the shipping containers. Well, what, Dave? Come on! I foreshadowed it and everything.
I get it. I get it.
Now that it totally makes sense. I was for some reason assuming that they are laid out differently than they. I don't know why.
All right. Okay. I understand. It's just.
Yeah. If I had been like, oh wait, yeah, they're
nothing
in a pile.
here. Time to go. Like. Records would have been like, well, I guess that's the end of that.
I guess Damien opens the inside and like.
Oh. So the inside is what seems to be exactly 5 days removed of a bunch of people packing up whatever was in here and taking it out. But there are some things that people with Auspex can notice.
Sure.
So I'd like my two Auspex players to roll perception alertness. Yes. Perception alertness. With an additional dice for your Auspex.
Nice.
The fuck is alertness? How much do I have in alertness?
Regular difficulty?
Oh, it's exactly the same as my investigation, so...
Regular difficulty.
Damn it!
Come on, boy.
God.
So both Maria and Damien will notice. I'll go over the things that both Damien and Maria notice, and then I'll go over the things that just Damien notices.
What does my detective eyes see, Wreckage?
It's actually your detective nose. You both can tell that this space, for a long period of time, was completely drenched in incense. Like, just like thick to the ceiling with like burning, smelling herbs. Not drugs of any kind. Not like meant to alter your mental state, just like actual
like that.
Incense.
Yeah.
You both see with your elf eyes that this assemblyment is very much specifically and intentionally sunproof. Like, it has been sunproofed. And Damien, you will find like there's all these tarps laid out and stuff, and they've been dragged around and messed about, and like clearly they're in the process of getting everything out. But like underneath a tarp, you just find like this weird like hand carved wooden religious iconography, and you see that a couple places.
I do my best to sketch what I've seen.
Got it.
I have the tools required. It's been noted multiple times.
Or does it just look like really shitty stick figures?
I have the investigation skill, so that makes it so that, and former cop. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
all cops can draw.
Yeah, no, I mean, but the like technically I should say no, but I'm not going to because I don't give a shit. And wait, also he's got time.
What is the art skill?
Expression.
Expression?
Yeah.
Where is
Don't worry about it.
That's the one thing in empathy. Talents that I don't have.
Well, you don't have streetwise either, weirdly. Yeah. You're a cop with no streetwise. Never worked the beat, I guess.
It's been a long time since I worked the beat. That's the difference.
Yeah. Amethyst says, I think this might be enough, but she's definitely questioning that thought at the end there.
Can I actually take photos with my disposable?
Yeah.
100%. I will do that. Like, I would take it. I'll jot down like, I'll do my best to like, I'll do my best to actually document this. Like, if you want evidence, I'm the man to get that fucking evidence on paper. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like this is what I would do.
Yeah, while Damien's kind of like sketching and taking some pictures, do you know anything? Do you know much about the Kuijin?
Oh, nobody really knows much about the Kuijin. Like, they're another type of vampire entirely, and they've got weird powers, but they've never really messed with us at all. Like, their sphere of influence, they seem to keep it intentionally in, like, China. They've never moved into Russia. They've never moved into, like, Eastern Europe. As far as America, like, when we started to get a really heavy influx of Chinese immigrants, they started to, like, come over. But all they've ever said is, we need to look after our people.
I like the idea in the background. Damien is just like, oh God, I can't even fucking imagine a Slav vampire. Jesus Christ.
Well, there are, and they're really powerful too. Anyway, whether the Camarilla has been in control on the West Coast, or the Anarchs, or whoever, no matter who's been in control of the West Coast, there's just been a steady deal with the Kuijin, also in New York as it happens, that they're allowed to be there to look after their people, and they don't get involved in the other vampire politics. It's like, it's clear that they control everything over there. They just control everything.
I guess maybe as a more general kindred question then, is there any reason you would want to cover up a smell as a vampire?
Cover it up?
Well, no. The incense, it's odd.
It's probably actually used to calm something down, if I had to put my guess on it. There's a lot in here. And if you wanted to get rid of the smell, well, you just wouldn't open the door. So whatever's in here is probably what's needing to be actually calmed down, because this shit, my ex-wife used to use this when she, like, and that pot puree shit, oh my God, I couldn't stand that fucking crap.
From what I've heard, they're like, the Kuijin are like Hollywood almost Chinese, so they probably just burn a lot of incense.
But like inside here, just this much just for them to sleep here seems odd.
Well, so here's my thought. This looks like evidence that they were transporting Kui Jin across the ocean into LA, which is not strictly a violation of the treaty, but is definitely the sort of thing that you do before violating a treaty.
Sure.
They would have to have spent their whole voyage, which would have lasted like a week in here. So they probably had whatever amenities they needed to keep themselves occupied and entertained, which I guess for some of them involves burning incense.
Quick question for you, there, Amethyst. Have you ever heard of, say, something that makes a vampire stay, under when dusk comes around?
Oh, yeah, like a stake in the heart.
I mean, aside from the obvious.
Or being completely out of blood. Torpor. You can be in torpor and then you don't wake up.
Do you think they have some sort of ceremony around, like, being in torpor or some shit that we're not aware of?
Maybe. I don't fucking know. Nobody knows what they do. Like, nobody knows what they do.
And I think Maria kind of scratches the back of her head, like a little embarrassed.
I mean, because these symbols are kind of religious and shit, so I just assumed that maybe it's like some big cheese they're bringing in or something like that.
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe they have powers that require weird fucking iconography. Like, maybe they're like kind of Tremere or something.
There might be a cultural difference, but usually when you're burning incense, at least in my experience, when you're burning incense, you're trying to cover something up.
Or like a poop or something? They don't poop, so I don't know what they want to cover up.
Different than going to the bathroom.
Let me tell you something real good about dead bodies. Nothing gets rid of that smell. Like, no matter how much fucking perfume you put on that shit, it's gonna smell like a dead body.
It's the top of the hour. I'm gonna go to the break. And when we come back, we're going to visit in with Braden and Rodney and the shocking things they're finding out.
Yeah.
It's
like,
shocking.
They're doing like the string thing with their hands,
Top 10 things they find in the cameras. You won't believe number 7.
So, ladies and ghouls,
I feel
Braden?
offended. I feel offended.
Yes.
Braden and Rodney, you are heading to the security shack. What does that look like to you in your mind, Braden?
I mean, it's kind of like it's a building with some windows in it that may be in an elevated area. Has like some stairs, like metal stairs going up the side of it to like a metal door. Maybe a little intercom on the outside. And it's got like, it's got like almost like a control panel type thing where it's got, like a bunch of TVs and like VHS slots where they put the tapes in, where they record everything.
So you believe that the security building room is just a tower out in the middle of everything, separate from everything else?
Yeah.
All right, then so it shall be. Yeah, maybe like a air traffic control tower looking thing, only it's security.
Yeah, and maybe not that high up either. Just,
I don't want to walk too far, says Braden.
Yeah.
Something that you can easily sneak into. Maybe it's got like an air vent the size of a human being.
It's got the key is underneath the mat.
Yeah, it's got a welcome mat. It's just like it's got like one of those little rocks that has like a false bottom, so you lift it up and there's like a keyhole in it. So
none of those things are true.
I don't know. You could spend some plot points maybe. I don't know.
What is true about this particular situation is there's definitely a boy inside. Security boy. Yeah,
Oh man, it sure is good to have a job at 16 years of age.
To avoid child labor laws. I'm not 12.
I gotta support my entire family.
Hello, sirs. Welcome to the Port Authority.
I'm sorry. Did I end up in England? I was headed for Los Angeles.
Oh, England is that way.
Chimneys.
There's actually a ship going to England. You want to get on it? You're in the wrong place. Ticketing offices over that way. And he said, oh, sorry, my page boy hat is too big for my head. It keeps slipping down.
Shine your shoes, governor. Newspapers, 10 for a pence. But there is a security guy inside. That I mean, you can only tell because like you can hear him moving around in there. Sure. There is a key carded like door. It needs the key card to be opened. What are you gonna do?
All right, so I'm gonna take out my notepad and pencil, have it ready, right?
Okay.
And Rodney's right with me too, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, and I'm gonna.
He's watching you with fascination.
Yeah, as he often does. And I'm going to simply knock on the door.
Okay.
Wait,
you hear?
Wait, before any of this happens, what are you wearing?
Oh, I've got my normal, the jean jacket.
So you got like the gamer outfit with like the Pac-Man belt and shit?
I'll kind of button up the jean jacket a little bit though, so it looks a little more professional.
Okay.
There's a little boodleet from the intercom, and you hear, who are you?
I'll say, hey there, who's on the job tonight? Asking for his name.
Excuse me?
I need to know who's on shift tonight.
Why?
Well, me and my partner here. Oh, well, fine then. I guess I'll tell you my name, even though I'm here doing an inspection on you, sir.
You're inspecting my security station. As in the security station.
Abnormal to you?
As in the security station that would be the first to know about strangers who are going to be down at the dock doing an inspection to make sure that we don't arrest them for trespassing.
Why would I forewarn you of an inspection? That just means that whatever shady practices you have going on, you have time to cover up.
What kind of shady practice? What official outfit is inspecting security practices?
The NTSB, asshole. Now I'm not going to be nice anymore. Open the door.
Wait, did you just say NTSB as in like the fucking like video
National Transportation and Security Board?
Okay, for some reason I was thinking it was like a video standard that was in the 90s that I wasn't aware.
No. So he does say, what the hell does the NTSB stand for?
National Transportation and Safety Board. I said security. It's actually safety. It's a real thing.
I googled it.
NTSB.
I googled it.
I didn't Google it. I know about it. There are things that I know without Google.
He googled it.
I mean, that sounds to me like a health and safety bureau that would exist in our world, but not necessarily the world of darkness.
Well, I mean, you could say that
at any rate, the security guard's going to say, I've never heard of the NTSB. And I think, like, props to being committed to the bit, but I don't buy this.
I assure you, sir, there is no bit here.
I've already called my
perform an audit on your operation.
I've already called.
I need to know these.
I've already called the patrols in.
Yeah,
they're gonna come and we're gonna take you in for questioning, sir.
Well, that's good because I need to take you in for questioning, so I can question all them as well. That's fantastic.
I
mean, I was going to do that anyway. I was going to start here and then have to walk out and see them, but you've called them all to me, so you've just made my job a lot easier. And mind you, now that you've called them all in off the docks, who's performing security rounds? So now we just leave the docks open because one guy knocks on the door? I'm making a note of this.
Actually, we do
making a note of this.
Tend to gather to make an arrest
No arrest necessary.
To escort a trespasser off the property.
My trainee Rodney, he's learning. Rodney, now just so you know, when they start going against you like this and start causing trouble, that's when you have to start getting like their name, their employee number. What is your name and employee number, sir?
I'm not going to give those things to you until I see some sort of proof of your employment.
Employee. Well, it's hard for me to do that through a solid fucking door now, isn't it, sir?
No, actually, it's not terribly hard. I'm looking at you right now. It's a security office. There are security cameras. I noticed the distinct lack of any sort of badge or official.
So what I'm gonna do then is I'm gonna reach into my pocket and like sort of transfer my pad to my other hand and hold it up to the camera, but like hold it so close that he just can't see anything. Be like, is that fucking good enough? Can you see that?
If only this was Cineters. If only this was Cineters. If only this was Cineters.
I know.
Right. And he says, no, as a matter of fact, you're holding it too close to the camera.
That's not my problem. And I put it back and now listen.
Well, it is your problem because until I see that official identification, you're a trespasser.
Sir, my name is Braden Smith. I'm on the NTSB. My employee number is 0235667.
That's literally meaningless to me.
My name and number.
I can't put anything into anything to confirm with. I don't have the database.
My God, that quote is so perfect.
Security checkpoint does not have adequate computer systems to run background checks on individuals. See, Rodney, I've written that down. That goes into the report.
And when you need to leash your dog, sir. That's another offense that I'm writing up you for.
Yeah, the dog is.
No, those are the dogs of the approaching security guards.
By the way, did you see the quote in chat about Frank?
Yeah.
Of course I had civil training. Can't you see my hat? Oh my God. Perfect.
I loved when that happened. Yeah. This is Braden, you're not making progress.
Well, can't you just use an illusion or something?
Yeah, I mean, he could have. He didn't.
Not yet.
Shut up, dog.
I mean, illusions are expensive. They're very expensive. Tux is muted.
I'm aware.
Okay.
His dog is also barking.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Just kick it.
Just
kick it.
A lot today. My dogs are barking.
Don't kick your dog. Don't ever kick your dog.
I know. I'm
fucking
kidding.
Wreckage.
I don't kick dogs.
Calamity.
I don't have it.
How long do I have before the rest of the security guards show up?
I mean, you wouldn't know. He's just calling them off their patrols. So however far away they are on patrol, you know.
I mean, I'd be able to see him coming too, right?
You don't see anyone coming yet. There is a lot of like warehouses and containers around, so you don't have like so presumably the tower you're trying to get into has really great sight lines, but the door at the bottom doesn't.
How sturdy is this door?
It's a big metal security door.
Okay.
I mean, like enough vampire blood maybe, but then you've already called attention to your presence and.
Right. So I'm going to disable the lock, the electronic lock. There's a key card thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna like pull it off and use my tech savviness and knowledge of computers and security systems.
You're right. I'm gonna come in there and arrest you myself. I don't need a key to do it.
I don't need you to let me in because I work for who I work for. I can just get in. Watch this, and I start to fuck with the keypad.
All right, we'll turn this into a roll then.
Yeah.
So it's going to be int techno. Well, is it maybe going to be
manipulation?
No, I think it might.
That's social.
No. This is definitely intelligence technology. I was leaning towards larceny, but it's definitely technology. But it's going to be difficulty 7.
Okay.
Because you're doing it under pressure, right?
3 successes.
Not because of the pressure. So you absolutely are able to hack the planet, and the door will slide open. But the entire time you're doing it, he's like, "There's no regulation anywhere that lets you do this, and if that door opens, I'm coming down there and arresting you myself."
You don't know the regulations. I know the regulations. That's why I'm here auditing you. So
and then the door like swishes open.
Yep.
Two men
door,
storming towards each other. I'm gonna arrest you. No, I'm gonna arrest you.
Once Rodney and I get in, I'm gonna shut the door behind us.
Sure.
Keeping the dog out.
But just for the record. Brian, just put him in another room.
Take him out to go to the bathroom.
Put him in another room.
No, well then he'll just shit and piss in the other room.
Yeah, Rick.
So I think what I'll do then is, as soon as we get in, I'm gonna shut the door behind me and Rodney, and I'm gonna lock it and break the fucking like keypad.
Okay, that's another.
Get in.
Now, okay, so
to smash it with my hand.
Well, no, to make it break. Like you can smash a thing. Right now, what you've done is break it so that it opens without a key card.
Right.
Now you're going in the opposite direction. You want it not to open at all. So you've broken it so that it would open easily.
Right.
So now you have to undo that in order for it to stay closed.
Taxidamus, how hard would it be to fleshcraft a shovel to help him dig his way out of this?
Anyway, please make the exact same roll, but it's difficulty 8.
Why is it harder to break something?
No, you broke it the first time. Now you're trying to fix it and then also break
successes.
it. It's fine. You do it.
Broken. No one's coming in.
Right. This door is now completely completely fucked.
You use the two wires that you get and you weld the door shut.
It took it. The door is completely fucked. Now you're inside, but also like coming down the iron grating stairs. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's boom, 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 boom. It's a security guard, and he has a shotgun. So he levels the shotgun at you, and says, "I'm gonna need you to put your hands in the air and get down on the ground before I'm forced to use lethal force."
I'm going to need you to put your hands in the air before I'm forced to use lethal force. Now, first question. How long has it been?
Sir, you have until the count of 3.
At these dockyards.
1, 2.
Answer the question, sir.
3.
Right before he shoots it, I jump up at him and rip his fucking throat out.
All right, so he's counting down from 3, and you're gonna use that to go just before. You don't have any sort of super speed.
No.
So
he's also got he's also got the element of surprise because I doubt the guy thinks he's in any danger right now.
He thinks he's in huge danger. The dude broke in and he's got a shotgun. But he's not buying the story.
He looks like Brayden. He looks like do I need to remind you what Brayden looks like?
I'm looking at his character art right now. He's of course not thinking like this guy's a vampire and is going to rip my throat off, but he is thinking this guy's probably got a gun, like he's here to do some sort of crim stuff. Crim stuff.
Yo, I'm here for that crim shit. Okay, hang on. Before you go any further, Brian, what did you just fucking say? You said something. You said something.
How long has it been since the last security incident at the dockyard or something like that?
Okay, perfect.
I'm trying to ask him questions.
I'm gonna write that down. That's the episode name.
How long has it been since the last security incident at the dockyard? Anyway, so we're gonna do initiative. So it's a
D10, right?
It's a D10 plus your wits and dexterity. In your case, it'll be a D10 plus 6. I'm going to give you +1 to that total roll.
So that's the best I could get, 16.
For attempting to do the thing. Then we're gonna see what this guy's initiative roll is. I don't think he's gonna beat you.
Yeah, that's you couldn't have gotten any better than that. I mean, you could have got a 17, so
he has to roll a 10 to tie.
Watch Wreckage pull it out.
I'm not good at dice rolls.
Spoody's rolling fucking hot fire tonight. Like
Fire, baby. You
So,
gotta be shitting me. Well, no,
no.
I got 16.
Yeah, no, you got 16. That what I said. He had to roll a 10
God
to
damn.
tie you.
the
because
fire
you got
trucks are coming for that dice of yours, Brian.
Yeah.
That's a great one.
I think that's my wreckage.
Yeah, no, it's me. My AC's off in my building, so now my windows are open and you guys can hear the city. You can hear all the city things. You just catch him off guard. Not enough that he doesn't fire, but he definitely you've already. I'm going to say on your behalf, you've already like pointed the shotgun at the ground, and
Right.
as you run at him, you're like push down to ground and then go for the throat.
Yep.
So
Rolling
he fires
a
into
watch
the ground.
on this would be him shooting the keypad and the door opening.
The shot goes into the ground. Now you need to actually kill him with a roll. The roll in this case is going to be, you don't have any sort of melee weapon.
I have a machete.
Isn't there a rule for like feeding in combat?
But yeah, can't I just like rip his neck out with my mouth?
Well, no. You definitely can't rip his neck out with your mouth. You could feed on him, though. And there is rules for that, which I don't have in front of me.
Okay, I'll look for it.
I mean, I have rules. I just don't know where those are.
I got you, boo. I got you.
Yeah. In the interim, I'm going to assume that this is a strength brawl roll.
Does Brayden know that we don't want to be we don't want them to be alerted to the fact that vampires rolled in?
Apparently
deep?
not.
Yeah.
He was told and has done everything in his power to not accomplish that feat.
Hey, as far as it goes right now, nobody knows.
Dude,
what's
you
up.
have like the fucking highest stealth of the group, and your first instance was to walk in there and be like, "What's up?"
I wanted to trick him. All right, so strength brawl,
Yep.
difficulty 6.
Yep.
The fire continues.
Maybe. He gets to roll soak.
Damn, you rolled 3 dice and you got 2 successes. Not bad, man.
That's right.
Not bad.
I had more than 2 in strength. I guess not.
Oh,
All right,
damn.
he-
Damn, wreckage. That's some fucking trash you rolled.
Yeah. You don't have potence.
That's a
so
botch.
you don't.
That's a botch.
Yeah, and doesn't matter in a soak roll. It just means he takes the 2 damage that
He
Brayden
takes
dealt.
negative soak. He helps him rip his own
That's
throat out.
those not how bouches on soak rolls work.
Oh, I see what you're doing. Here, let me help.
So how do I feed on? Like, if I feed on him, the fight's over.
Yeah.
Sure. Did you find that, Dave?
I'm still looking. Give me a sec here. I'm
Yeah,
pretty
I
sure it's
tried to-
under combat. So
I mean, these dice can only be fired for so much longer.
I'm running on fumes here now. Like, I'm pretty sure it
Well-
might actually be under combat maneuvers, maybe. Hell,
So, I know that what you could do is forsake damage to put him into a brawl, or put him not into a brawl, to put him into a grapple, and then he
Okay.
wouldn't be able to act until he broke the grapple.
So I
right
can
now,
grapple him now, is what you're saying with that roll?
yeah,
So why don't I do that and then like roll to feed on him? Wouldn't that be?
because I don't know what the roll to feed is yet.
I'm still looking.
But you give up doing two damage to him to go into a grapple.
I mean, I don't think.
But
2 damage
he won't be able to shoot you
Okay,
with a
but
shotgun.
this maneuver is only available to vampires or other supernatural creatures with sharp teeth. A bite maneuver is a combat maneuver intended to cause damage rather than drain blood. Okay, that's not what
rather
we
than
want.
drain blood. So we want.
Alternatively, a player can declare his vampire kiss to be an attack kiss resolved in the same way. Upon connecting, the vampire may begin to drain the victim's blood at a normal rate, and the victim is typically helpless to resist. See 269 for specifics. It's a dexterity plus brawl. It's difficulty normal. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing here.
So Dex brawl.
Yeah, roll
269. Yeah,
roll
brawl.
dex brawl.
All right.
Let me look up 269 though.
I told you. You made me waste my roll.
You blew out the fire when you went like that. That blew out the fire, man. Like, yeah. All right, hold up.
Right. So, the botching on this, interesting. So you're in the grapple. You establish the grapple. You try. He can't break out. You try and feed on him. You have to fail spectacularly.
Spectacularly. Yeah.
So I'm going to say that you try and bite into him. And he squirms at the last second, and instead of biting into his neck, you bite into the walkie-talkie, type thing that he has right up by his neck.
Sure.
And it sparks, and his shirt catches on fire.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. See, I was thinking you're going to go something like he worms out of the way, and you bite a piece of metal, and you break your fangs. And I was like, oh.
I mean, you just get to regrow that shit.
Still, that's pretty cool, though.
Right. So I need you to make a fire frenzy check.
So what does accuracy +1 mean on a maneuver?
What's the frenzy check again?
It's
Courage?
your self-control. No, it's courage in this case. Well, they're the same for you. So roll 4d10. The difficulty is determined by what's occurring. The difficulty in this case is 6.
Normal.
Okay. Whatever, 40-10.
Damn.
Jesus fucking Christ.
You got shit on, dude.
So as we no longer have a conscious player character in the scene, we're going to skip over to the other players.
Rodney can't help me?
Rodney can help you, but you now are no longer conscious because you give yourself over to the red fear. So you no longer have control of your character.
Man, you're doing this. Imagine you're Walter White when you walk along the highway in your underpants. That's the red fear.
Holy shit.
It will 100% be up to Rodney to save you, or not cause further destruction and damage.
I like the idea that we're
love Rodney.
The rest of us are like fist pumping from a successful mission, and then we just see fucking, then we just a small explosion, and then like a man just running, just like on fire. This is like, what?
You could have learned so much.
Raging, or what is it? Am I raging or whatever it's called? Or
no, it's the opposite.
It's good rush.
So this one is fear. You are running away in fear and doing everything you can to get away. In fear.
Remember.
So I can only run up the stairs. Okay.
Remember when I tried to fucking fight that dude and he glassed me and I got put on fire because of a tiny candle?
Oh, and Aerosol was right. I mean, this dude's on fire now, so he's fucking dead. Fuck that guy.
I mean, yeah, this dude is on fire, but also he'll get 3rd-degree burns while he takes his shirt off and then be fine.
Oh yeah, because 3rd-degree burns, you just bounce right back.
No, I mean, but like
Wreckage, at least give him that. At least tell him how fucked up the dude gets. Come on.
We will find out how fucked up the dude gets when we get back here. Meanwhile, other player characters. Do you need to go take your dog out for a shit, Ryan?
Yeah, I'm gonna. Actually, he's sleeping now, so.
Okay, then.
I'm not gonna worry about it.
That means he's somewhere.
Excellent.
Probably.
Amethyst Maria Damien.
Yeah, yes.
Yo.
So as Amethyst said, one of the last things she said, I think this is enough. Maybe.
He throws his t-shirt that's on fire onto an open gas valve.
That they have around the docks.
Because, he's dangerously cooked. I mean, the safety inspection was on point because, he was cooking over an open gas flame.
Like, we see that light and flyer, then 2 hours earlier. Oh man, I can't wait to eat this popcorn. Oh no, I'm late for work. And he just leaves it there.
Nice.
With the stove still going.
Nice.
Anyway, so Amethyst just said, "I think this is enough." Maybe.
Cool. Yeah. So I think
maybe enough. Maybe.
Is there a roll that I can make to see how? Actually, maybe I don't want to make it up to a roll, but do I feel sufficient that I've gotten everything I can out of this environment?
With what you know right now, like anything else would be speculation. Right?
Does it look temporary? Or does it look like they're going to come back and maybe try bring more people back?
No, as I said earlier, this looks like it's been this looks like 4 or 5 nights out from like taking everything out. So a lot of stuff is torn down, a lot of the stuff isn't here. Like maybe they maybe have one more night of cleaning and then maybe even disassembling the like the sunproofing and stuff, like to make it so this place was never here.
Right. Okay. Yeah, well, if we wanted to find more information, we could sit on here even longer, but
yeah, I don't think there's anything else we can get.
Let's just hope that maybe they learned something at the security place about the unloading or the manifest or something.
Yeah, I mean, it couldn't have been too fucking hard. The guy just had to walk in there and just do some things.
Yeah, and like they both can go invisible basically. I'm sure it was
done deal.
Really
I mean, I've seen the guy. Yeah. I've seen the guy like handle himself. I'm sure Rodney and Braden will be perfectly fine with each other. No problem.
Hear a scream in the distance.
No, what you guys hear is pistol fire, like a lot of it.
I'm just like, I take that back. Maybe there's going to be a problem.
And this also piques the interest of the Yakuza on your vessel. Before you guys have like successfully exited this thing, you can hear them running past and up on the deck to like look and see what's going on. So they're now like right outside.
All right.
Have they noticed us yet?
No, because you're inside the thing, and it's possible the Yakuza don't even know about the thing because they were stationed in other places on the ship.
Are these actual Yakuza, like non-vampiric Yakuza?
You can't tell.
So vampires don't have another way to tell if a vampire is a vampire?
Correct.
Okay, so
you can look at them and see that they're like pale and stuff and have pointy fangs and crap. Like that's a way to do it, but you can't see them right now.
Okay.
They're on the other side of the wall.
I grab Amethyst and just like, we need to like make them forget what they've seen. It seems like Braden's fucked up. That's pretty much obvious. So maybe we can like give them the old suck and run.
Here's the thing.
Drive-by sucking.
There's probably too many of them.
That is one of the problems. The other problem is if any of these guys is a ghoul, then he'll go back to his master and say, I was definitely fed on last night. Like, they won't remember, but they know what it's like to go under.
Okay. I didn't even know that was a thing. So I'm glad that you brought that up because I would have just gone and done that. So
okay. So, but I think we can if we just go out if we just go out the other side of these shipping containers and take our time, they won't see us, but it's going to delay us getting over to that gunfire. And maybe they also decide that they want to go investigate the gunfire, and who knows what ends up happening. Well, we're not doing anything sitting around here. So Amethyst starts heading for the other side of the.
That's the best idea.
Like the gunfire was rapid, and there was a lot of it, but it was brief and it's over. Those of you with Auspex can hear the Yakuza. They have walkie-talkies, and they're like, dock security, this is vessel, blah, 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 wondering about rapid gunfire. And then you hear back, in Rodney's voice. Vessel 451, this is dock security. Nothing to worry about. Just a little misfire of a weapon. You stay in there and have a good evening. Over.
It's fucking amazing.
And then it replies back. It's like, are you sure that was quite a lot of gunfire for a misfire? Rodney comes back with, oh, no, we got a new trainee in here tonight. Real big idiot. Really fucks everything up. Just, you know how it is. He's going to get a formal reprimand, and, there's none of those bullets went out towards your vessel or anything. There's nothing to worry about. If you want to file a formal complaint, you're more than welcome to. But you'll need to come over here, and we'll need to see your name and get your face and all of these things. And then the accuser's like, yeah, no, it's fine. We accept your explanation. And then you hear Rodney say, yeah, I thought you might. And then the line goes dead.
I love Rodney. I told you, I've always liked Rodney.
You know what's best about this game, right? So Wreckage is effectively playing by himself. We're just here as like commentary, like flavor, because Wreckage is basically just like, if they fuck up, I'm just gonna, do the mission.
Yes, if they fuck up, I save their character with Rodney. You're right. That is what happens. If the character who can go invisible and make illusions instead tries to lie his way into a security office and then botch his fight rolls.
To be fair, he was rolling hot fire.
I was rolling really hot.
He was rolling.
You were rolling really hot fire.
And you don't stop rolling.
But you wouldn't have had to roll at all if you had used your magic powers. There was a part where he said, I need to see your ID. And you showed him a piece of paper that you could have made be an ID.
You also could have made it a picture of you fucking his wife, just to reiterate the point.
Like, that would have been good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can we retcon that in?
Yes, chat and players. Yes, I'm using Rodney to save Braden's life. Yes, it's entirely his fault. Like those are my points.
And I haven't gotten out of this yet, so pull your tits.
Yo, we got some stuff. Don't worry about it.
If you guys make your so Amethyst will be the one to leave or be like, was that Rodney?
Yes.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So they've fought, the two people who can go invisible fought their way into the security tower.
I'm not much of a detective apparently anymore, but if I had to put my finger on it, I would say that it was probably a good friend, Braden, possibly doing something that he's not good at, like, say, stepping up and trying to be a big man. He
talking to people.
Maybe opening his mouth. Don't know. Just an idea here.
Well, at least it sounds like they're okay. If Rodney's able to be on a walkie-talkie and
you guys sneak over to the security tower.
Sure.
Yeah, we get off.
So,
question: I don't know if this pertains right now. Can vampires swim?
They can, but they can also sink to the bottom and merely walk along the bottom.
Yeah, unless you choose this character, in which case you can't.
Yeah, well, no, she can't cross over running water.
Which happens to also be the ocean. So.
No, ocean's not running water.
Are you fucking serious, right?
Right.
It's like waves.
No,
current.
The old myth about running water is streams, rivers.
So if
like,
she turns on a if she turns on a
Brooks.
faucet, she can't like put her hand from one side to the other.
If there was a particularly rainy day and the streets had like water running through them, she couldn't cross over it. It's running water, not stagnant water. Because stagnant water, like when this myth was first created in folklore, running water is clean. Because it's running, you know it's clean, so it's pure. Standing water is stagnant, so it can be filled with shit. So it's not. It's
so
dirty
wrong
and
in
evil.
so many ways. Okay, cool. I get it. The ocean is stagnant.
Well, it's like it's still in its place. It's not like going from the ocean to another place. It's just there.
Look, I didn't.
Down to rivers all the time.
I am not.
It's different.
I am
different.
not. I am not a million-year-old ancient like person who is actually responsible for all of the folklore ever. Okay, so I have no responsibility.
No. You know, here's how you retcon it, wreckage. You go where it was made. They didn't have oceans. They were landlocked. Boom. Shots fired.
The problem is they actually weren't.
Boom.
I pull up my pen and say, I'm an oceanologist, waterologist certified.
Anyway,
a few questions.
So you walk up to the security station, correct?
Yeah. We saunter up.
Immediately around the foot of the security station is just like 6 dead security guards, and like really dead, like throat ripped out and blood spray like comically over everything dead. And these are also where all of the bullet casings are.
I sigh and I walk over to like a fire hose and
yeah, that'll help, says Amethyst in a very unhappy voice.
Yeah, just kick the bodies into the ocean and just like spray the blood down into the drain. Just like.
Maria, why don't you come with me to go talk to these guys so I don't kill them the second I see them?
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
You guys head into the security tower. There's another dead cop in here who's also slightly burned. His blood is everywhere here.
Now, when you say cop, wreckage,
security, but
okay,
like
so not a cop.
It's Port Authority security, so it is a real, actual cop. Like,
okay, but if Damien was like, that's a dead cop with a vampire hole in him, that's not good.
It's a federal thing. Like, he's a Port Authority cop.
Right, he's a fed.
Like,
now,
like he's a fed.
He's a G-man.
He's a fed.
It's also Damien. If a fucking security guard walks into a police bar, he's gonna get laughed the fuck out, right? You know, like that's how
I guess it's your
fuck you, Paul Blart.
I guess it's he's a
go home.
This is a real professional who he checks. Part of his job is to make sure drugs and like people smuggling and all of that doesn't happen. Like, he's a actual, honest to goodness professional who is technically also security, not a cop or a detective.
I'm asking you where that floor line is, my man.
I'm trying to figure out where it is for you, because he is a professional. He's not a cop. He's not a detective. He's also a fed.
So
I don't know how Damien feels.
This is how we're gonna do it. Okay, imagine if the LAPD had a baseball team and they did like scrims against other like the firefighters and like the ambulance and the Port Authority.
Yes, they would absolutely have a baseball team.
Great, but in the locker room, would they get whipped with wet towels? I think they would. I think the police and the fire...
My understanding is that everybody would get whipped with wet towels, but I don't actually know anything about athletic locker rooms.
Pre-exclusion policemen. That's all I've written.
I think it's where you grab people by the pussy.
Okay.
Anyway,
so I want to say that anything that's not like a badge walks the street, deals with dead people, I don't think that's a policeman. Like, I want to say that right now. I think a blue blood is like, that. But you can say otherwise because you're the GM. So what
was your qualifier?
Blue blood. Blue blood. Someone who walks the streets with the badge, has authority on the streets.
Okay, he has authority in the docks. Yeah. And he patrols them.
But also, if a policeman walks into the docks, he has authority in the docks still.
Actually, a policeman who came into the docks would be in the jurisdiction of the Port Authority. And they would need to be giving warrants to the Port Authority to continue any sort of investigation there.
So what is your ruling? Give me a defined ruling. Does a fireman count as a policeman?
No, a fireman doesn't count as a policeman. Like, very specifically. This is, I think,
what if they're
more
policemen on the
area.
side? Then do they count as a policeman?
What about if a stripper policeman? Does that count?
I'm going to let you figure out whether or not you're upset and not tell you for you.
Okay, I don't think I would be upset. I think anyone who drives around on a Segway or a little golf cart doesn't count as a policeman. I just want to. All
right, they don't have segways, but they do have they don't have golf carts either, but they do have those like without a top, like
one seat cars that go.
No, they're more like
rollerblades.
They're more like the they're 4 seats, but they also have a bunch of place to put like tools and stuff, and they drive around and have little yellow lights.
Yeah,
they have those.
No, anyone that drives one of those is like a meter maid is not a police officer. You know what I mean? Like,
wow, harsh. All right. So now that we've clearly defined it,
apologies to all the meter maids watching tonight's show. You have a valid profession.
In the 90s.
Maria and Amethyst, you go into the security tower, and inside you find this additional dead cop whose blood is sprayed all over, like, the lockers and the equipment lockers and everything that's on sort of the bottom floor of this tower. Well, I mean, upstairs is where that message came from.
Just silently, judgingly walking up. Just
try not to leave footprints, guys.
Yeah,
incriminating. It's a crime scene.
As you walk up, you see Rodney at a computer just going like... Also, he's got a policeman hat on.
Oh, I'm a policeman.
And he's got like a headset, like one of these, you know, like...
Yeah. Do we see Braden anywhere?
Nope.
Hey, Rodney.
Hi!
What happened?
Braden lit himself on fire and freaked the fuck out.
What the... What? How?
Well, I'd say that he really botched when he tried to bite the guy in the neck, and he bit like the walkie-talkie, and there was a spark, and then the guy's like, I don't know, maybe he was covered in liquor or something, went up like a Roman candle, and then he completely failed.
Why was he attacking him?
Well, because he pretended that he was from the NTSFB or whatever, and then like, you know,
I walk in, I'm
the
just
guy
like, oh yeah, the NTSCB, I know them, they're good guys, great baseball team.
So he's like, I'm with those guys, and I'm here for inspection. I need to inspect the security tower. And the guy was like, that's not a thing. And Braden was like, I'm doubling down on it. And then I'm going to break in, and the guy's going to come down with a shotgun, and I'm going to fight him. And that's what happened. But then all of his buddies got called in, and then everybody's dead.
Where's Braden now?
He's in one of the lockers downstairs.
You nerded the nerd. I love it.
Okay. Is anybody else? Do you know if anybody else is coming? Did anyone have anyone's radioed in that they're on the way?
Oh no, we've killed every single security officer at the dock.
Oh fuck.
When he says we, he really means Rodney.
I think he really means Braden.
You didn't think we had to accept that we're going to kill people no matter where we go?
I'm a little bit more upset, says Amethyst, that this completely clean, never getting caught thing is now not a thing anymore, and we definitely were here.
Yup.
But the good news is that we didn't leave any sign that it was the Kui Jin's vessel that we were after. So if we like steal something else or something.
So no, here's what I do. I as I'm walking around, I'm just like, well, I mean, you've literally done this before, Amethyst. I take out my machete and I start fucking, like, you know,
killing them in normal ways. And she's like, in this situation, you're not going to hit the dock. You're not going to knock the dock over with knives. So...
And then I open up the filing cabinets of the security office that we're in.
Yeah.
And I start taking them, and I also start taking out... And here's what I also do. There's probably CCTV things in here. I literally take out the videotapes, and I start ripping the stuff out.
Well, we want some of those. We should actually just take them.
I sort of look at her, and I'm just like, look, we even going to cover this up. Why don't we take the ones we want?
Yeah. Well, then that's even more suspicious. We should just take everything, make it look like that's what they were here for some reason. And then, that's going to be the best way to recover this.
Because if we look at this, like, then they don't know what we took from anything.
How are you two on blood?
I'm pretty good.
I could use some, I guess.
By the way, is Dead Man's blood a thing in this game?
What do you mean?
Like,
they're freshly dead.
Drinking dead man's blood, is that a bad
No,
thing?
the vitae disappears like right away.
But we've drank freshly dead people when we beat up those street hooligans or killed them.
Yeah, but you killed them and were right there. These guys have snuck around to get here.
Oh yeah.
So like it's there's a difference. Like immediately post the thing.
Sure. Okay.
Is just a different story.
Yeah.
So Amethyst takes some of their pistols and says, "Look, I don't want to burn through all of my blood. Maria, help me out on this one."
Actually, you know what? I just take a pistol. I'm just like, I've been missing one of these for a very long time, and I just put it back in.
Yeah, no, sure, go ahead.
Yeah.
But she takes a pistol.
What do they got? Like Glocks, like 9mm, I guess.
Yeah, they got the really really standard issue pistol.
Probably 9mm.
She's like, Maria, come do what I do.
Okay. Is there a way that I can spend a willpower and maybe get like the gung-ho guy that brought his own gun to work sort of gun?
The thing, like I would say, like yes, but like a magnum would still not be enough to really hurt a vampire.
Doesn't matter. I want him to have like a magnum. You know, like I want him to have like a.
Because Don Salvador is gonna hook you up.
I know, but
he's gonna hook you up with a What he's gonna hook you up with essentially is a gun that fires hollow points.
Nice.
Like that's the only way to hurt a vampire with a pistol.
Okay, I would want to have a
magnum.
Like a magnum because he's the type of guy that likes to have a big heavy gun under his arm. You know, like.
Sure, fine. Yeah, you can spend a willpower and have a magnum. Okay, so what Amethyst does is she takes a pistol.
Got that magnum.
She puts it up to her arm, and puts it against a guy and fires through her arm. And it absorbs the majority of the sound and also blows out her arm, but it shoots the guy. And she said, we got to do this for all the bodies because nobody's going to roll up on the Port Authority with knives.
Can I not just use, can I not just make like a black cloud that also dampens the sound?
It would dampen sound, but those Yakuza would still hear muffled gunshots. And then they'd be worried because they were told, there was a misfire.
Let me just double check because I'm pretty sure it gets rid of all sound. And that would be a lot easier than shooting ourselves and spending all the blood to get this up. Where are we at? God. Obtenebration. Shroud of Night, okay. Generous darkness, blah, blah. The cloud may invoke, blah, blah. Extinguish light sources and muffle sound until they are indistinguishable.
Like,
It cost me 1 blood to do it.
I know how incredibly cheap it is.
Versus shooting yourselves and doing it that way.
Sound also. It seems like they wouldn't be able to tell like what kind of gun it is, but they would hear like a loud noise.
No, I mean, it literally muffles all sound like you can't talk in it because you can't hear in it.
Yes, but the word muffle is not mute. Muffle is like a muffler.
It muffles sound until they are indistinguishable from anything else. So what they would hear is just sounds. They wouldn't hear gunshot muffled sound. That's how I read it, at least anyway.
We also wouldn't be able to see anything.
I can see everything. So.
Does it not affect you? Does it say specifically that it doesn't affect you?
I mean, I would assume I wouldn't be able to be affected. Because how else would I be able to walk around in it?
I don't think you're meant to. I think you're meant to put it on people that you're fighting. Like that's my read on it. But Let's see what it says.
Plus, there'd be a lot of extra blood in this area if we shot ourselves. So, like,
Yeah, it doesn't say that you're
into it.
You're not immune to it.
That's unfortunate. That is unfortunate, isn't it?
You are able to. I think one of the key things here is that
Can I like surround it? Do I have?
You're allowed to make. You're allowed to make it the shape that you want to make it.
So I could cover all the walls with it, and anything inside of it can't be heard outside of it. Like if I make an orb, right, and I'm inside of the orb, and everything is still visible, and I shoot something, do people outside of the orb hear it?
I think they would, because it sounds like it's the actual inky blackness that does the muffling.
Yeah.
Like,
okay, I'd buy that too. Yeah.
So, but I think the key here is it's like you can make it creative shapes so that it doesn't affect you, but does affect your. So
enemies. Like we could make it like chest high.
Right.
And put the gun in it and shoot out of it, sort of thing.
Those are things that could be done. Like you could also do the opposite and like do like head level. While ducking yourself.
Yeah, that's a good point. Richard McSandy makes a great point. Ink the gun and just fucking shoot out of the, like, just hold the gun in a tiny little cloud and shoot out of it. Like that makes perfect sense to me.
The cloud is spatially placed though, so it wouldn't stay on the gun.
I mean, you could just stay in the same spot and just shoot the guys.
Yeah, if you wanted to bring them all in and shoot them, like that would definitely be a way of doing it with just one cloud. So if you want to do that, then you can. It'll take more time than going through and just shooting each person.
Well, I could also make a giant line, and we could just like put the gun in line and shoot some people from different angles and stuff. Like we wouldn't have to move the bodies. It'd be easy. Definitely wouldn't be hard to do.
All right, this is going to take probably like 20 minutes to cover this all up. Maria,
mm-hmm.
Do you go check on Braden?
All right, I'll spend a blood to do that then.
Yeah.
You have to check a couple of lockers. Eventually, you open one, and Braden falls out.
Is he like pantsed and got his like a wedgie and stuff?
The leg of a chair has been snapped off and shoved in his heart.
Okay. You might want to leave that in there.
Yeah.
All right, come on. Head back.
So I like the idea that me and Amethyst are just like, just
all I want to do is
and take my money. I know what you're saying.
No, the Yakuza accepted Rodney's explanation, especially when Rodney said, "We'll need to take your name, face, and etc. for the report." Like,
yeah.
Rodney
we also
knew
need to write down any distinguishing tattoos you might have, and then
yeah.
Anything but that.
So this is everything that Amethyst thinks needs to be done. Does anybody else have any other?
I mean, I'm destroying, like, specifically we're destroying like the filing cabinets, or like making it look like we're looking for something.
Yeah,
sure.
you got the tapes of tonight out of there.
Okay.
Yeah, we shot them.
We didn't leave any evidence on the boat. We shut all the doors that we opened, and
right. The boat's clear. The boat's clean, so to speak.
I think that pretty much sums it up, right?
The door thing. Is there anything there that we could like mess with? Is there any weird logs?
The door already looks like it was messed with by a mortal, because he hacked it.
Is there any weird logs that the guy might have? Like maybe he made a call somewhere to whatever. Like, is there any beeper logs of people being alerted?
Like logs of the security stuff, etc.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can take care of those, especially the like logged conversation he had with Braden outside the door.
Mm-hmm.
Although maybe you even want to leave that. I mean,
is there any
that conversation in no way, by the way, points to vampires.
He did give his name.
Are there any
I said Braden Smith.
Oh, you said Braden Smith? Okay.
Yeah. So
and Rodman.
Is there any paint or like spray paint or like something that we could like use to mark with?
Yeah.
To what end?
You know what? I put a fucking gang symbol on there.
That's what I was about to say.
I used my knowledge of the gangs in LA, and I put a fucking gang symbol on there.
All right. Certainly, the mortal police will be satisfied by this.
Yeah.
We will. If that's everything. Is that everything then?
Will Smith was here. Like, oh shit, Will Smith was here. We gotta just ignore this, guys.
Is that everything?
I think so. Yeah, that's all I can do.
All right. So in that case, we will head to our break.
I'm picturing like heavy rain where you're cleaning up after yourself. We leave, the camera zooms in on the one thing we fucking forgot. Damn it! I forgot the. Damn it,
Jason.
Jason. No, it won't quite be that. I'll tell you what. No, you guys have definitely. You guys have definitely 100% for sure. Like, the mortal police are going to be satisfied about what happens here.
I mean, because you have a policeman with you. It's like if Ricketts had said, "Haha, you forgot this," I'd be like, "But I'm a policeman."
Yeah,
there's no way I could have forgotten that. Like, if it was something that obvious, right? So.
During the week of nightmares, the Ravnos ate each other, but in every group of Ravnos, there necessarily had to be one Ravnos who was left. Because he was the last one to eat someone else.
He was taking a dump, and his enraged state couldn't get out of the toilet. You know, like, it's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
So, yeah, basically the Ravnos aren't extinct. It's just they were also very, very tightly knit, so they lived in large groups. So every group of Ravnos was reduced to one Ravnos, basically, is what happened, right? Like, the last guy standing. So, you know, in some cases, they would have killed each other, but for the most part, there would always be at least one Ravnos left, which is why the bloodline isn't completely dead.
Let's take that break.
So you guys leave assured, at least within yourselves, that you have handled everything that you could possibly handle. At this point, Amethyst is going to say again, with some trepidation, "I think this is enough for the vote at Elysium."
Well, I mean, we could do more, right?
Or make things worse.
Yeah, well,
like a week.
Now, Wreckage, if we were to say, "Okay, fast forward us," would you be like, "Cool, done"?
Yep. Yes, I would. That's the decision that's being made here. Amethyst is trepidatiously, believes that this has been enough.
All right.
This will secure your vote.
I'm good to fast forward.
Yeah.
You think we're good? Then that's have this information will.
So, you know, there's the people at Elysium who are like, they want to keep you around, and there's the people at Elysium who don't want you to. You don't need to hand them a golden star.
I will spend this next week fucking making that golden star out of all this evidence, and I like shake the camera at him. I'm like,
no, don't do anything. Either we're gonna do stuff together. We're just going to sit on this.
No. You don't understand. I'm just going to be me making a presentation of files and stuff like that so that literally the dumbest fucking vampire on the face of the planet could understand what's going on.
Well, all you have to say is they were transporting vampires. Here's the proof.
Look, I'm going to give it to him on a silver fucking platter because I want to show that I can do something. let me have this. All right, please.
He wants to prove that he's useful.
I want to prove that I'm fucking useful.
I probably make sure that like Damien can't see me. I just kind of like give Amethyst like a like.
I'm sitting there just like, you know, looking over the camera, just like going, yeah.
Amethyst is gonna lean into Maria and say, but he's gonna make a fool of himself instead.
He needs something to do. If he's not gonna go out and do anything bad, he's just gonna get the pictures all looking okay and
like a huge presentation, and then he's gonna expect to deliver it in front of every vampire.
Like a collage. He's just gonna make like a collage.
He's gonna make a fool of himself.
I'm not gonna make a collage. I'm just gonna make fucking like.
Look, no, we're whispering. We're whispering over here.
It's like you know, I have I can hear you, right? I have fucking. I can do that. I can turn it on and make myself hear you guys, right? I'm not gonna make a fucking collage.
It's fine. The information will still be there. It'll be he just needs something to do.
I'm not a 14-year-old fucking girl. Okay, I don't have fucking pigtails in my goddamn hair. I'm gonna make the photos, and I'm gonna say, here's what this is. Here's some fucking stupid Asian religion shit.
Maybe avoid that sort of language, but yeah, okay.
Look, they're gonna look at it and they go, "Oh my god, that's fucking vampire stuff." That's what's going to happen.
Look, Maria, just do me a favor and have him do his presentation to you first, and make sure it's not making a fool.
It's going to be himself. A vanilla. When how do you say it? Vanilla.
Manila.
I said vanilla in his voice, and now I can't say the other one. It's going to be a manila folder, and I'm going to slide it over to those motherfuckers, and the photos are going to come out, and it's going to have a dead body.
I'm sure you'll do a great job.
Okay, all right, sure, fine, all right. So we're all good to wait till Elysium.
But also, fucking Jesus Christ. Yes.
So we're all good to wait.
We get a montage of me just being like, hanging up these fucking like.
Braden, you'll be unstaked, and also asked if you're good to wait till Elysium.
Yeah, once we know that you're not gonna freak out when we pull the stake out.
So you unstake me?
Yeah.
All right, fire.
You're okay. You're okay now. It's fine.
What the hell happened?
Everything's okay. We got the evidence. We're all good. We're back here.
My plan worked. All right.
You can think that, sure.
So now we just wait till Elysium?
Whatever you need to collapse unconscious at night.
Yep.
Whatever helps you collapse uncontrollably unconscious at night.
I also like the idea that as I'm like, you know, doing these, making these photos, whatever, I'm sitting there and I'm just like, scratch my chin. I walk outside and I'm just like, I hold up the thing and I take a selfie, right? But before I do it, I grab like a hat and I put the hat on and I take a, and then I wait like 3 days as I'm making the thing and I hold it up. It's like, yeah, there's literally no hat in that photo. You
know, so now we just wait
for Elysium.
Till Elysium.
Yeah. Yep. And
I've done enough here, and I put my arms behind my head.
So we get the time lapse of like the sun setting and rising, and sun setting and rising, and also like all the cars in LA, like
the Far Cry thing. Yeah, all right.
The cars going in and out of LA at different times of day, and yeah.
Can we feed at some point during this week?
Yeah, you can be at full blood for Elysium.
Fuck yeah. I also like that Gambit's now like 300 times the size he was before. He's just like the fuck, like a gorilla walking around, but with a dog. It's like...
No, he doesn't have supernatural size yet, but he will be the size of a full size dog, even though he's still
like
a
a Burmese mountain dog or whatever.
Yeah. No, he'll be the size of a full size golden retriever, but earlier than he should be. It'll take him years to get supernatural size, which is a trait.
So he's like a puppy golden retriever, but he's the size of a normal golden retriever.
Yeah,
that's fucking adorable. I love it.
Anyway, so Elysium.
Here stand the accused, the men and women who found themselves to be
the most wonderful place on earth.
First, in the days coming up to Elysium, you start to notice a lot of unfamiliar faces in the taste, coming in, sampling wares in large groups. You tend to notice that vampire coteries really, like, they don't have a dress code, but when they come in, it's like you can tell that that's that group. And
I imagine we spent
group.
a couple of days just being like sitting there just going like, oh, these guys are clearly into baseball. And then like baseball guys come in, it's like, "Rrr." And then like, and then like, you know, like
the baseball coterie.
And then
It's like the fucking teams from Dodgeball.
yeah. And these ones are
The
the golf
lumberjack
ones.
vampires.
Oh, the lumberjack vampires, yeah. Here's the librarian vampires who will come in like.
There's a group that
might
walks
be
in
undead, but the books are still here.
the day before Elysium, the night before the night of Elysium. This fucking like Mad Max motherfucker walks in, or like Eli from Book of Eli, or like just this like trench coat
warrior.
Yeah, like he walks in, and he's like just incredibly dirty, and he goes over and he talks to Alexa, and they have like a really like intimate and close conversation. But those of you with Auspex, it's not that you overhear the conversation. You do notice that this guy growls when he speaks, like he speaks like a beast would speak. And she's sort of like we're all full up.
Does she like slap her knees? And he's like, "Come here, boy," and he's like,
anyway,
"This is a good gangrel." Okay.
And then he goes back outside, and as the door opens, you can see that there are other guys there that look just like him, like, and a girl too, and also like maybe a giant wolf. But don't worry about that. Door closes and they're gone as soon as they were there.
Okay.
Is there anything you ask anyone prior to Elysium?
I guess I'm curious if like there's anybody we should be on. Like, is there like I'd like someone to give us the rundown of like what's going to what's the agenda, like what's going to happen, and it's like, is there anything we need to like watch out for? Like, is there a thing we're supposed to do when we go to Elysium so we don't piss anybody off? Like, is there a like, all right, so procedure or
you'll get the rundown from Alexa. We will literally all be there. It is a Anarch Elysium, which means it's also a Bruja rave or rant. And that means that everyone has the right to speak. So it's going to get a little chaotic at times. It'll be up to the barons to make sure that certain agenda pieces are eventually spoken about. They will have to be the one to use their command of respect to be like, we have to talk about this and this and this. This whole night is for airing grievances and getting things settled. Occasionally in the past, Elysium has gone an extra night. If not enough agenda pieces got brought up in time because too many people were complaining about XYZ. That's certainly a potential risk in this scenario. What with the whole you guys, that might be a bit of an argument. And yeah, the vampires from all over California will be coming in to air their grievances here, anywhere in the Anarch states, which is essentially the parts of California that we control, which are more expansive than just Los Angeles. But Los Angeles is where, the focus is, I suppose you would say. That's what people really care about. So even the other vampires who are coming out, they're coming here because this is the LA Elysium, and this is where the fate of the Anarch state, the direction, the course, the rudder is set. Is anything else?
I guess as long as we don't do anything out of line, we won't need to worry. Just
Yeah, I mean, keep us following the protocol, right?
You're trying to make a good impression, but otherwise there will be plenty of people who are going to make a scene and start fights. Well, they will try and pick fights. If a fight actually happens, that's a breach of Elysium. And if you breach the rule of fighting at Elysium, then every vampire is allowed to kill you in the room.
Okay. I got a question for you. Is the thing about me being a spooky vampire going to come up and make me target to get, lynch mobbed?
They can't start the fight. If you start the fight, they'll kill you.
All right.
They might try and goad you, but if you don't throw a punch, if they throw the first punch, then every other vampire in that place is going to kill them before they can kill you.
Roger that. Question number 2. What happens to you? I know you've come under a bit of scrutiny because of...
Oh, no, not at all. We're doing our job. Our job is to house caitiff and wandering anarchs who come into LA without a place to do it. We have no...
I mean, with your, wizard thing.
What do you mean?
Aren't we talking to Amethyst right now?
No, we're talking to Alexa.
Oh, sorry. My bad.
That's why she's been so sweet and caring.
Yeah, I was like, are you going soft on me?
No, yeah, if you want to...
This week of not doing anything has made you kind of like,
almost bearable. Like, do you want to talk to Amethyst?
Yeah, I'll have a chinwag with her. Specifically about like what's going to happen with her, because if she needs like backup or whatever, I would be
She's very immediate and abrupt and blunt. None of your business is her response to that question.
All right. I mean, what? Okay. One more question, and don't bite my head off. What happens to you after we get,
I'm free.
okayed? Yeah.
I'm free no matter what happens. At this point, no matter what the vote is, I'm off the hook.
All right. I just like stand up and go back to whatever the fuck I was doing before.
I would
Maria?
like to talk to Amethyst.
Okay.
Baby, come back. It's been a long time.
I was wrong.
Yeah, so I think I'd like
you.
at some point approach her. What's the best way to? Words are hard.
Let them come from the heart, Tux. You know what I mean? Don't speak with your mind. Speak with your soul.
Speak with your vagina.
So I walk. Yeah, so I go over and like, hey, so I know you don't need it, and I know that you're better. That like I just because I'm me. If you need anything, just let me know. I don't. I'm new, but I probably don't know much to help. But just I'm there.
You're a sweet summer child, Maria, but I'm a baron already, and it takes a lot more than that to. It takes a lot more than any of the things I've done so far to unseat a baron.
Okay, good. I'm glad.
Good old Farrell with the quotes.
Good. I'm I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, don't you worry.
Okay.
But hey, after this, you're like, the vote goes your way, you're super free. You don't have to hang with them at all. You could come down to my place, roll with my crew maybe. She says it like not totally seriously. Like, hey, you're going to be off the hook. You can go do whatever you want.
Yeah,
you want to roll with us, the hardcore fighters who punch stuff. It's like she's saying that yes, you can, but the joke is that's probably not your speed of. It's not actually what you want to do.
Plus, I can't. Cause
I think so. When she says like, "Oh, you come down to my place, hang out with us," probably like just give like a small smirk, and then.
Sorry, I'm not into dykes. Just walk away.
Don't.
Got him. She'll be, you leave her wanting, you know, like leave her thirsty.
I'll probably like smirk at like. I remember a time when you were very excited to get rid of us.
I'm very excited to get rid of the Shucklefucks. I've recognized over the previous weeks of working with you that you are anchored to some very unfortunate handicaps.
Motherfucker, fuck you, Wreckage.
That's Amethyst's opinion.
Tell us what you really feel.
That's Amethyst's opinion. You two have done nothing but fuck up in Amethyst's face. I'm not saying you've done nothing but fuck up, but just to Amethyst, the only things you've ever done are screw things up. Damien
got some security footage.
But that was a huge fuck up. Like, Damien was fine nothing went wrong with Damien there. But remember also Damien's the one that she nearly fought to death because he fucked up there.
Right.
She doesn't have a high opinion of Damien and Braden.
I didn't know what a... Sorry for being fucking going out of my way and trying to do things so we don't die. I'm fucking sorry.
Look, you're in. Everybody else judges you by your results. You judge yourself by your intentions.
You know what? Fuck her. I'm glad she's gone. You know what? After this, I'm just gonna be like, fucking get out of here.
Okay, well,
can get.
Since it's our conversation.
Right. That is no one else is involved in or is there.
I mean, it's never just your conversation in a vampire party. You know what I'm saying?
They're not at the taste right now. So this is private. You didn't hear that. Is the point?
No, it's fine.
So she she says that. Maria probably chuckles we've all made some mistakes since doing this, but we're learning. That's something. But I wouldn't be opposed to hanging out with you again after this.
As friends.
Well, you'll be seeing me around. No worries.
Glad to hear.
Why am I taking the blame? My NPC doesn't like you. I'm sorry.
I mean, you
can chat.
You could always like me. Cunt.
I could always make my NPCs just always like you, regardless of your actions.
I am very likable.
Let's play that game and how fun that would be. Yeah. Oh, are you Damien?
Yes.
Oh, I'm so stoked to see you, man. Please, what can we do together? And also, how can I serve
How
you?
about we go and we put minorities in their place in the 90s? You down?
I'm so down.
Oh, all right, let's go.
I don't like this. I don't like where this is going. If I can ask, where is your area of LA? If you don't actually know, you can just be like, oh, it's X area.
I do actually know. Please hold. What the fuck? God damn it! This goddamn thing. The LA at Night PDF is just terrible at loading. It fucks straight up all the time.
I mean, you might. It sounds like you're using a bad loader. I don't know.
Nah, it's just the LA at Night one.
I mean, the program to load PDFs.
She's the Baron of Santa Ana.
Okay. Cool.
Which is not in Los Angeles.
I've heard those words before.
Well, you can look at a map of Los Angeles and the Los Angeles area.
Ah, yes, the Santa Ana winds. Oh, it's near Orange.
Orange County, the OC.
Oh wow, yeah, that's like fairly far south.
Yeah. So she's the Baron of that whole town.
Huh.
Yeah, she did just outright say it, Rundover. I just couldn't remember exactly which one it was.
Yeah.
Because I got a list, and I know where all the barons there are, and it's complicated.
Oh, okay, that's kind of far from here.
Well, I mean, they're all wrapped up in the politics of LA.
That's
There's
true.
there's no reason to be down in Santa Ana where nothing's happening.
Fair.
Yeah, I've got that place on lock. Yeah, I got my eyes elsewhere.
I'm sure you do. Cool. Well, I'm glad you're going to be all good. I hope the vote goes our way, and yeah, I guess.
All right, so
The Vein's probably going to be opening up fairly soon after Elysium, so if you want to stop by, I don't know if we're going to have drinks or whatever, but
yeah, no,
I'll get you
we'll
one.
have to see about whether or not Lavin ever comes back. And that'll be really crucial to that whole thing. Awkward goodbyes that you're really dragging out. And
I'm just
then it's
imagining
Elysium.
like the dude kissing scene from Basketball, where they're just like, dude.
Dude.
And then they just start fucking tonguing each other. Like,
Anyway.
just fuck already. God damn it.
So you guys go to
the most wonderful place on earth.
there are vampire shuttles
Welcome
that are
to
shuttling
fucking
everybody
monsters.
from LA at night into as they say, the heart of Anaheim, Disneyland.
Next up, literally hell on earth.
They go through It's a Small World. It's a small world after all.
The off ramps into Disneyland are like, it's nighttime. They're shut, but there are shaded men in suits who are letting in the vampire vans and etc. and limos and all manner of transportation methods, and even people just walking up to the gate.
Is there any vampires being carried by their ghouls? Like just like
No,
in like one of those.
no one's
like,
doing like palantines. No. That
like,
would,
is there
that
a
would be the
guy
sort
on
of
an
thing.
elephant, like just with a sultan hat, and he's just like.
No, you would see that sort of thing at a Camarilla town, maybe. But as it stands currently, that's not the case.
Damn it.
And you're all gonna go. Everyone's meeting in. I don't know the actual architecture of real Disneyland, but for the sake of the world of darkness, the big hollowed out lit innards of Space Mountain when it's not on.
Okay, so we're in Futureland.
Whatever. You're in a big hollowed out space of some ride.
We're not in the Haunted Mansion?
No. You need to be able to fit literally hundreds of vampires in this space and have a big argument.
So why wouldn't we be in the Magic Kingdom?
Shut up.
I mean, you're laughing way too hard for Disneyland jokes. You know what I'm saying?
Disneyland jokes are where it's at. Come on.
Look, Aracito, the book literally says Disneyland is the Anarch Elysium. I don't think I would put it there. That seems a little too on the nose. But I wash my hands of this. there's lighting. The whole place has been set up. There's stands. Like there's been modifications here for the evening to facilitate this whole thing. And already barons are taking places like on high platforms or on parts of the ride, and then sort of convening with the vampires that they've brought, which should be everyone. Like, no matter what, every vampire in the entire city should be here right now. It's not against the law to not come, but it's like a huge missed opportunity. So everyone will come.
Okay. So if someone dropped a nuke on us right now,
they would kill all the vampires in Los Angeles and also wipe Anaheim off the face of the map and start World War III, and everyone would die everywhere.
Except no more vampires. So,
well, just in LA.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll concede that point to you, Captain Logic. Math.
So, there are tons of faces here that you haven't seen before.
Wait, hang on. Do you get, like, vertigo? Like, if we went on a roller coaster as a vampire, would it do anything? Would you just be like...
You won't experience the sensation of dizziness because you don't have liquid in your ear, but you can get vertigo because vertigo is actually it's a warping of your perceptions based on your own anxiety.
Okay.
Anyway.
No more questions from the crowd.
There are literally hundreds of vampires filing in. Is there anywhere in particular that you want to try and be?
Try and be? Is there like a table like there was at the last rave?
There'd be no way. So it's just an open space and people are like milling about. And they're basically staying away from the center. Like, the table is going to be that there's going to be a big empty space in the center for people to shout through, right? Like, in some way, it's becoming a big circle of vampires.
Sure. I guess, is there a space where the people we know are hanging out, or are they just spread everywhere?
They are pretty spread out. Like, McNeil's group is not right next to Don Salvador's group. It is worth pointing out that Alexa and her husband are both there. Like, everybody's here.
Yeah.
Like, everybody is here.
I mean, I think we would probably be hanging out towards or close to people we know, right?
It's also worth pointing out that Amethyst is here, and she has more vampires with her than you've ever seen her commanding. Like, in any individual instance. Like, she seems to be the head of, like, 16 vampires, as opposed to, like, the 8 you've previously seen her with.
Can we just find a space, like, that's just not really with a group? Or like...
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
There's plenty of vampires that aren't, like, grouping up with a baron. Like, and they're chatting. You know, they're socializing. Yeah. It's still forming up.
And I'm not... I guess... It's not like obvious to those people looking, but like I'm assuming we should stay like kind of as a group of just us because we're kind of on trial in a way. And I didn't want us to be like standing with Don Salvador and being like, okay, so you guys were either about to kick out or stay. You're staying with that dude. Okay. Like I was I was feeling like we should be like, okay, like I guess in my head at some point they're going to be like, okay. And with the issue of the 5 KTIF that had the thing, like present your case as to why we shouldn't just kill you. Like, okay. Or something. Like, I'm not sure how it'll work out, but like in my head, we should like kind of be our own thing, at least for now.
Right. So, Elysium's going to begin. Eventually what happens is people who have been to this Elysium before, vampires who have been before, have sort of just noticed that the number of vampires that show up are here. And the side chatter starts to die down without anybody like calling the meeting to order. Then one of the barons is the first to speak up. And he has a complaint that he wants to register with another baron who's been encroaching on his territory. And they want to solve the matter without bloodshed. And that gets debated by relevant people, and other barons discuss it. And eventually it's agreed that there is a defined border between their two baronies. And if the troublemaking baron crosses that border, then he's violating that vampire's territory, and he has permission to respond with lethal force. Then it's another baron who wants to ask what's being done about the Hollywood Hills situation. His territory seems to be very near it. And another baron makes a report that is basically like, we've seen literally no activity out of the Hollywood Hills in the last... we have seen literally no activity out of the Hollywood Hills since the formation of the Anarch state. Though there is no official declaration of any kind of treaty, that's what we're assuming right now. We haven't lost any people to Hollywood Hill incidences that we're aware of. And someone cuts that in with, but we have lost quite a few people to this whole wizards thing, right? And then there's quite a lot of conversation as barons who have not, like, they haven't been in LA proper, they haven't been near Inglewood, so they never were involved in the wizards thing, but they've been hearing about it. And so now there's a huge conversation about the wizards, and they talk about the treaty that it was eventually signed, and they talk about the whole process, and that sort of segues directly into one of the caitiff was able to arrange that piece with powers that we don't fully understand. And so then it's Mohammed who demands that we now discuss the issue about these caitiff, the Sabbat caitiff who were sired in our shores, or like, in our territory, a clear shovelhead attempt, a clear violation. Like, before anybody can bring up anything about you guys, Don Salvador leaps on him about that and says that was not clearly a Sabbat invasion. It was one pit, and there were no other incidences that evening. And Muhammad fires back with, that's even more suspicious, and we should be incredibly suspicious about these people whose powers we don't understand. And that like is turning into a big argument. Other barons that you don't know about speak up. Finally, it's McNeil who's like, we've already decided that their fate will be put to vote here this evening. We are all intimately invested in the welfare of the Anarch state, and we cannot afford to take any risks that might undo the work we've done here. If the assembled believe that this clandestine siring of caitiff, that on the face of it appears to be Sabbat in origin, is actually a sufficient threat to the Anarch state as an entity, as a unit, then that is how they should vote. But first, the caitiff will be presented with an opportunity to show how they have been loyal and productive members of the Anarch state since their siring.
As you all may have noticed, there is a covered up thingy.
He's still talking. Amethyst, the Baron of Santa Ana, was assigned to these caitiff to monitor their progress. Please make your report, Amethyst. And Amethyst comes out and says, well, as you already know from the story, Lavin was the one who negotiated peace with the wizards, considering the existential threat that those wizards posed, I feel that that is quite significant. As for the other four, I oversaw their efforts to investigate recent Kuijin activity in LA. Allow them to come forward now and present the fruits of their labors.
I look at Damien and kind of just like nod for his.
Well, really, like all of the people move away from all of you.
Yeah.
So suddenly you're all in the center, right? Without even trying.
Yeah, so we become in the center of the group. I like nod at Damien for him to be like, okay, here's my envelope or whatever.
Yeah, so I sort of maybe just sort of walk out a little bit. I'm just like, within this envelope, I hold evidence of the Kuijin. What was it called? Sorry, wreckage. Kuijin. Okay. Evidence that the Kuijin have been up to making some very interesting imports into LA proper. I just sort of like, maybe pass it to the guy who was speaking and was like, as you can see, they're bringing in some unmentionables, undesirables, and I'm sure that everyone here would very much like that didn't happen. They have no idea that we even know this information. We've been very, very strenuous in proceedings. Without the help of my fellow new bloods, we definitely wouldn't be able to do this or have as much evidence as we do.
Then as Amethyst just speaks, it's not a direct violation of the treaty to bring in other vampires from China, other Kuijin. But we've been hearing whisperings and rumblings about activity from them for some time, and none of our information lines have presented anything solid. Now we know what they are doing is bringing in more vampires. We can go from there, but I think this kind of risk, without any sort of fuck up, is a clear sign that they are loyal to the Anarch cause. And she sort of sits down. There's more arguing. Muhammad doesn't believe that is a sufficient show of your loyalty. Like Salvador and McNeil fire back with Muhammad always being overly paranoid, especially about the Sabbat. Other barons argue with other barons.
It's a great deal of art. To make our case too that I mean, technically we're Sabbat, but we don't know who our sires are. We don't have any affiliation to them. Like, or is that just shit they already know?
That was included in the.
The problem is they think that we are sleeper agents. So like, us saying that, we don't know our sires is like, well, yeah, that's what a sleeper agent would say.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, I start to get a little agitated, wreckage at all this. It's just kind of like they're sitting here talking about, how much they distrust us when we're literally bending over backwards to fucking do everything that we can to make sure that these guys.
You haven't produced much though, and that's sort of the tenor of the argument. It's like, yeah, they've put themselves at risk, but they also messed up some stuff, and then somebody else is there to say, yeah, they messed up some stuff because they're caitiff, they don't have sires, no one's teaching them what to do. Like, it's going to be a long road. They're going to have to associate themselves with, they're going to have to assimilate into barons and baronies and larger groups to be led along the way, but this is a good faith show. Mm-hmm. Eventually, at some point in the argument, McNeil is just going to call a vote. And it's going to go down to ayes and nays. And like just as he's calling the vote, he's like, so as the when it comes to the vote on these on the caitiff, whether or not their intelligence gathering efforts are a sufficient show of their loyalty or lack of being an existential threat, he sort of emphasizes that, like, you know, a no vote. He's trying to emphasize that a no vote has to be the same thing as declaring that they are an existential threat, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's not just enough to not be super best friends; they have to be super dangerous. I will now call for all those in favor of allowing them to join the Anarch state, as is right with our laws and philosophies. Say aye. It's deathly silent. No, I'm kidding.
I'm like,
No, there are plenty of ayes. You know, you're allowed to say aye.
all right, aye. God damn it, guys, speak up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
I
Amethyst.
wish to not die.
Amethyst and her coterie all say aye, by the way, in case you were wondering.
See that? She really likes me.
Shut up. Just
Then
shut
McNeil
up.
says, those of you who believe that they represent an existential threat to the LA state say nay. And then there are a bunch of nays, but it is very clear that there were more ayes than nays. They're not, it's not going to go to
Can I eyeball
runoff
the
vote.
motherfuckers who said nay? Like,
Well,
not stink eye them. I just want
pull
to
out the notepad and write down their names.
I just want to know, like, be able to when I see
a lot
them
of
next
barons
time.
a lot of barons you've never even seen, but obviously and especially Mohammed and his group. Like, no question there.
Go on the list, motherfuckers.
Checking it twice. Motherfucking Muhammad. Got him.
So he's then about to say, like, moving on, when you hear very loudly from the door, I would like a chance to speak. And all eyes turn.
Oh shit! It's Snake Lady.
And it is Snake Lady, and she's there. She's surrounded by like 16 Yakuza with briefcases, and she begins to walk into the center, and everyone wraps around her. And she's like, I would like to applaud the efforts of your caitiff and of your democracy for recognizing them. It's true, we have moved a large number of our brothers and sisters into LA recently. We had absolutely no intention of keeping this secret from the Anarch state. It was our intention to announce our dealings here at Elysium. Absolutely, Aracito, always feel free to post art over and over and over again.
You may post the boobs. I mean the art.
We have had a long and fruitful business with the Anarch state. You know, we have upheld your rules, and you have upheld ours. There has been no breach of. Yeah.
While she's talking, can I just like get a read on the room of like if her coming in made everyone like clench their butts, or is this just like, oh, okay, she's here, this is fine?
I'm not going to. I'm not going to do an offensive Asian lazy accent because she works on her Western accent. You know, she actually cares about having an unaccented speech. And I don't know how to do very slight accent. I don't appreciate being told I have bad accents, though. I do great accents when under a certain set of accents, which does not include racial ones. Anyway,
so are they like? Are people? I guess to go along with what Tux is saying, are people buying this?
Lots of people seem unfazed. A few people seem suspicious. A couple people are just looking at her boobs.
That's true.
There is a huge number of people here, so you're going to run the gambit for reactions. But in general, people aren't like, this is Elysium, remember. She's here under Elysium rules. If she makes any move, like, her life is forfeit. And every vampire in here gets to kill her.
Okay. I just wasn't sure. I didn't want to like do like a roll or like scanning it. Like I just wanted like quick scan of my eyes to see if it, like basically if there was a group wide or
that's the thing about Elysium is that when somebody shows up in Elysium, like there might be a little bit of tension, but for the most part people are okay because they know, what the deal is. Like
sure.
Elysium is a safe space for everyone to come talk. That's the idea.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's true that we've brought a large number of our operatives into Los Angeles through China recently. I don't expect you to understand our customs, but I want you to be made aware that an individual in the homeland has performed an impossible and egregious sacrilege. A blasphemy of incomparable proportions. He has stolen something from our sacred spaces that is beyond priceless and beyond sacred. He has fled to the Western Shore, to the United States here. And our agents have been transported across the sea to hunt him down and reclaim what is ours. There will be no breach of your territory, no infringement on your rights, no hunting in your grounds, no anything that you tend to care about. And there's a lot of like quiet thoughts. And then one Baron is like, is there a reward for this guy? Face? What's the artifact look like? We'll help. And she's like, again, while I appreciate the offer, I cannot overstate the cultural and religious significance of this little endeavor. No one else we won't be happy if anyone else lays their hands or eyes upon this, and as such, we will not be asking you to assist in this little manhunt. McNeil is the one to speak up. This is the Los Angeles state. You don't have jurisdiction here. We have a treaty that lets you exist in Chinatown. I assume your fugitive isn't hiding out in Chinatown. If you want to work in our territory, then there must be some form of cooperation and oversight to ensure that both parties are operating in good faith, especially assuming, as you say, that that this incident is so sacrilegious and holy, then I assume your agents are incredibly sophisticated and powerful individuals. I will not have them roaming my territory unsupervised. She grits, like, there's a very brief moment where you can tell she's gritting her teeth, but it passes in a second and she's right back to perfect statesman. And she says, if you're going to insist on that, then I would like the opportunity to insist that having one of my businesses broken into and one of my ships boarded demands some level of reparation. And as such, I request that your newly elected caitiff be assigned to overseeing this operation.
I start laughing.
I start nervously laughing next to him because I don't understand what's happening.
Elbow.
Ow.
McNeil sort of it also grimaces and says, "This is a democracy. This is a free state. Our vampires are allowed to do what they want, who they want. It's strictly a volunteer operation." That said, he turns to you, your group. Maria, Damon, Braden, Rodney, would you volunteer for this operation to please our guest?
If you think it's best that we do this, then I'm okay with it.
I mean, I could play along, I guess.
I just sort of look at the both of them, just like, really? Really? You're going to jump out of one frying pan and into an even larger, more culturally insensitive frying pan? And I just sort of look at him and was like, honestly, I got enough on my plate going on as is right now without having to do the dirty work of someone that I've never met before, to be honest with you.
Rodney's like, I'll do it.
There you go.
I look at Snake Lady and Miss, if I could ask, does this person and artifact potentially pose a danger to the city?
He is dangerous only in so much that he is sacrilegious, that he is willing to breach some of our oldest traditions and cultural portents, means that he most likely is willing to breach any law of any supernatural, to do anything for whatever twisted goal he may think that he has. His danger is in... Let me put it this way. There is a very important list amongst you Western vampires, I am led to believe. I don't recall the specifics of it, but and someone else shuts out, "It's the red list. It's Camarilla only." And she's like, "Yes, thank you. The red list. This red list is reserved for your worst offenders, your worst criminals, your most dangerous people for breaching the worst laws. Apparently the bounty on them is incredibly high. For his sacrilege, this individual has earned his place on our equivalent of the red list, which I assure you goes even deeper and even further than mere bounty hunting. And his punishment will be far more severe than final death."
I look at Damien. Weren't you saying you wanted something to put yourself towards?
I like lean into her and I was like, I don't know if you know me that well. I ain't working for no one like that.
Regardless of their motives, this person sounds dangerous. If they're willing to steal from these people, come here and bring their wrath here, who knows what they would be willing to do to the people here?
They could get a lot of good money from this too.
Look, the way I look at it right now, you and I, all of us have been bending over fucking backwards to make sure that we don't get on the shit list of these guys. And now you're willing to put our names on a shit list of even more guys. I don't know. I was willing to fucking retire, spend my life chasing down drunk motherfuckers.
Rodney will be the one to say, "Guys, it's fine. If Damien wants to retire, like, we're Anarchs now. We get to do whatever we want. He doesn't have to volunteer."
Yeah, just... I'm doing it because it sounds like this person might hurt people, and I don't want that to happen. So
I'm doing it for the fun of it.
There's a tap on your shoulder, Damien.
Okay.
It's some guy.
Some guy. Oh God.
I got a message from Don Salvador.
All right.
He says that, again, you can make any decision you want, but saying yes would really help keep the peace.
I look over at Don Salvador. What does his face look like right now?
Like, because he knows you're getting the message, so he's like, yeah, come on.
So why does it got to be the people that are just literally out of being thrown under the bus?
You heard her rationale. It's more or less
Because
it's like a political thing.
Because we broke into their ship and their building.
Yeah, but they were doing something wrong. You know,
They didn't technically breach the treaty, so it wasn't technically wrong yet.
Nobody technically broke it. It's just a little wavy here, little wavy there. This will help ease things.
Both sides kind of did things they're not supposed to, and this is she doesn't want anybody on this mission, but if she's going to have somebody, she wants the people who trespassed against her, maybe to keep an eye on them, that sort of thing.
It's not like we're tied to her and we have to do whatever she says. We're just gonna help find a criminal, and if we do or don't, as long as we make the effort, that's just what we need to do.
I sort of look.
You're free to say whatever, but
Wreckage, I want to. Is there like is intuition a thing vampires have? Do vampires have a gut feeling? Do vampires have like a? I'm looking.
Yeah,
at
everybody
this
has a gut feeling.
Okay.
Everybody still has intuition. They don't lose it. Intuition is not a bodily fluid that when you die you no longer have. It is something that you still have. As
my intuition.
Right. So yes, you still have whatever intuition you want to have. I guess. You want to try and
I want to try and like intuit something that would give me an idea whether or not I'm supposed to just be like, yo, this is a fire that I don't want to touch, sort of thing. Like, I want to get an idea.
Okay, so open up that picture from Aricido.
Which region of the picture would you like me to put my oculus, Wreckage?
To shove your face in and wiggle it all around? Can't really tell. No. So look at her, right? Look at the picture.
Okay.
This picture, when Aricido sent it to me, was literally perfect when I saw it. It is an absolute perfect representation of her character, and it is the exact pose, face, and dress she is wearing right now.
Okay.
So tell me what your intuition tells you about looking at that individual. She's literally looking at you as you look back at her.
Okay, so
exactly with that expression.
Okay, first off, I'm not a racist guy in real life. I'm trying to play.
Are you not?
I'm trying to play a former cop turned lifelong fucking vampire or unlifelong vampire who has a particular hatred for criminals of a certain persuasion. Okay.
So here's what I'll say. She does not look like a criminal.
But
she looks like she looks like she belongs in a high society gala. And in fact, Lavin would probably be the one to notice this the most, even though she's not here. Very, very intentionally, her dress isn't as Eastern as it could be, right? Like it has very, very Western qualities. She is every bit from top to bottom presenting herself as an emissary between East and West. She probably goes to every high society function on the West Coast representing Chinese business interests. Yeah, and not necessarily criminal ones. She used a criminal one for her vampiric stuff, but it looks like she is just a legit, like, ambassador.
This is such a hard thing because normally I would just fucking so starting a conflict here is the worst, right? But also I'm trying to like Damon's it's such a fucking annoying character to play sometimes because on one hand I just want to be like, yeah, let's go do the mission, but on the other hand he has his fucking principles and his morals. He doesn't want to, like, there's no way he would work for another corporate, like, where the okay.
She's a politician, not a corporation.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what it looks like.
So I just look at her. I just have this fucking just look of just like pure like, oh god. And I look over at fucking Don Salvador, who, you know, has clearly given me something more than anyone has in this fucking place, something to work towards. And Damien will just sort of like look over at her and like, well, let's make one thing fucking clear though. I ain't working for you. I'm working.
No,
I'm working.
Of course not.
I'm working.
You're working for McNeil.
No, I'm working for the Anarchs. You're not an Anarch.
There's lots of cheers actually when you say that, because she said you're working for McNeil, and then you said I'm working for the Anarchs, and what you basically just did was reaffirm that that's how the Anarchs work. They don't have a leader, and so when you say that, there's actually a huge pop. Like, yeah, you show her how this works. We're Anarchs. 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 Anarchs.
I also look around a little bit confused at this, like, the fuck just happened? Like, you know, like, but yeah, and I sort of look back at her and I was like, as long as we have those ground rules, I'll get rid of your fucking supernatural mumbo jumbo bullshit.
You will oversee us as we get rid of it. Thank you. But yes, I accept your offer. Then there is one other call up, and it's Amethyst, and she says, I volunteer as well. I also broke into both of those places, which means I'm the same group that you want.
I just sort of look at her just like, God damn it, we were this close.
And as she sort of physically leaps down to join you when she does that, to, you know, like, show the group that's going to be doing it. As she does, Damien and Maria, and probably Braden, but maybe not, you can both notice that, like, walking away from the spot where she was is that same messenger from Don Salvador.
Oh.
Walking away. Oh wait, so Don asked her to join.
Yeah, I mean, she's still allowed to do whatever she wants.
Well, and then
right?
she's a Baron too, so this is probably just a favor because it's not like he can tell her to do anything, but it's kind of like, it's probably like, hey, from one Baron to another, I'd owe you one if you did this, probably, sort of thing. I'm guessing.
She comes over, you know, and she just sort of, she like walks a little too close to Snake Lady on her way over, and gives her like a really smug look,
like down the nose.
Yeah, like, well, like, Amethyst is just trying to be like, yeah, bitch, what you gonna do about this? Like, I'm a superpower. Like, you can't just get a bunch of loser K-tiffs to be following you around. Now we're gonna have a heavy hitter too. And also, like, Amethyst is a street urchin looking person with like punk clothes, and this lady's like a head of state. Yeah, and like, so Amethyst is very much driving home the point, like, you're working with Anarchs, and how does that make you feel? And there's no emotional reaction from Snake Lady at all. And then when Amethyst like turns away and is looking back at you guys, you can tell she's fucking pissed that there was no emotional reaction at all from the Snake Lady, and she's sort of got she's got a fist clenched and she's walking away. So she walks up to your group, and Amethyst is standing next to you.
Good to see you working with each other again.
Snake Lady bows and says, "That is all that the Kui Jin have to speak at your Elysium. We will work out the details of this little arrangement in private. I'm sure that's satisfactory to the assembled barons. Reports will be given out, of course. However, as previously stated, the identity of the individual and the nature of the stolen item will be private and secret. Thank you. And she turns to leave with her, assembled bodyguards, and does. And Elysium will carry on from there. There will be more complaints, more mentions of things and barons and territory and treaties. In fact, I would like very much if Tux and Brian, if before the next episode of LA at Night, we could find an additional time to get together, because Dave, I would like to do a drawing board episode about this, because what you guys are going to learn at Elysium that we're basically going to brush over is all of the politics of the Anarch state. You will learn every baron, every territory, like where they are, what they own, what their complaints and things are. And I think it'd make an excellent drawing board episode, but I'd like the other players around to be able to ask questions and sort of dive into it.
Sure.
So if we can get that happening, that might happen. No promises yet. We didn't plan anything previously.
Okay, well, I don't think we have Dead Man's Crest this week, right?
We don't have Dead Man's Crest this week, but I don't know that Tux and Brian are both free on Wednesday. Brian's making a face.
Tough.
Yeah. We'll talk about it after we go off the air, so that people don't have to mention that, well, gee, I got my orgy on Wednesday. I can't.
Wednesday's not orgy day.
Other than that, Elysium is going to occur, and you're all going to leave safe and fine, and nobody blew up Elysium.
Yay!
You're going to be able to make friends. Part of the reason why I want the player characters there for this drawing board episode is because I'm going to gamify a little bit your guys' ability to make some political maneuvers. You're each going to have...
Why don't we make this an actual episode of LA at Night, and just like a spin-off or something like that?
As long as it doesn't take up the other slot, because we want to keep... it can be whatever you want to call it. I think it works as a drawing board, because I'm going to be literally just revealing all of the information in the LA at Night splat book to you guys, and we're going to be talking about it. And basically I'm going to assign you some, you're each going to have brownie points to learn more than you're would be allowed to learn by wheeling and dealing.
Yay.
And I think it's going to be a fun little thing if we can get it to happen.
If I buy you brownies, do I get more brownie points?
You can get more brownie points from me, Tux, but you know what you have to do.
Oh, okay.
With teeth.
Brush your teeth, right? Yeah, you have to brush your teeth every night.
Your teeth.
So that's going to be the end of the episode here. There's Elysium goes without a hitch. You guys are now saddled to this weird thing that's going on with the Kui Jin. And Amethyst is going to help. And hopefully Lavin is coming back. But this will be just about the time when we ask Tuesday how she's doing. See if we can get her back in. And if it's not looking good, then we might be looking to get a new member on the show. Maybe just in time. Maybe we will retroactively say that somebody else volunteered or something. It'll all make sense.
Alrighty. Let's do some shout-outs and call it a show. Tux, my man. The only person that I know who actively changes his Twitter handle for fucking Halloween.
Hell yeah.
What up, Goob?
Hey, everybody. I am Tux. I do things on the internets. I'm here. I'm there. I'm places. All my stuff is Tuxtradamus. You can find that all there. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Another awesome episode. I'm glad we all weren't voted off the island. That's always good. So, look forward to more Kui Jin investigation and stuff, and finding out more about Snake Lady. Should be fun.
Nice. Speaking about snake ladies, let's go over to the man who has control over every snake in the room at all times, but never the one that bites him. Brian, what up? How you doing?
I mean, I think Braden's new goal might be hooking up a snake lady. I don't know.
It just doesn't work in Calamity. Can we just
We'll
hey, a new pair of boobs in my life.
That's right. They're shaded so perfectly.
Yeah, it's true. They have color.
This is a good episode. I'm glad we made it through Elysium without too much trouble, really. I think we did good.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah. Where can people find you?
They can find me here on Mondays and also on Thursdays for the new what is it? Cyberpunk? Not Cyberpunk. Well,
Shadowrun.
What is it called? Shadowrun. Thank you. Shadowrun. Our first real episode is this Thursday, right?
Yeah, that's right.
It's gonna be awesome. I have a podcast. It's on iTunes and SoundCloud. It's called Motion Sickness the Show. So you can search for that and find it there. It's super good and funny, and you should listen to it.
You heard him. Listen to it.
Listen to it, damn it.
Last one, at least we have a storyteller for the session and for all sessions, Mr. Dr. Rekausch. What up?
Hi, everyone. Hope you had a good time with us this evening. I sure did. Snake Lady sure is cool. Thanks again to Aerocyto for the beautiful character art.
Thank you so much.
He was immediately inspired after her brief display at the end of the last episode. This is going to be a real interesting arc. I hope you join us for all of it. There's going to be a lot of room for our characters to finally sort of just, do things and not be like, I'm glad that we're moving out of the you guys are on trial arc. Because at this point now, only the most egregious breaches of like vampiric law could result in them being in trouble. So pretty much anything you do, as long as it, like, the individual you screw over might want to kill you, but there will no longer be systemic repercussions for any of your fuck ups.
Where are we sitting with this being the end of an arc and XP being dropped on us? Like,
this is not the end of an arc.
Sweet rain.
This is the Kuijin arc. You ended the first arc of the game, and now you're in.
Anymore. That could be considered an achievement.
It is an achievement, and you are going to get experience points, but not quite end of the arc status. We got quite a lot left in this arc, basically until whatever's up with the Kuijin is resolved.
Okay.
Unless, like, we take a hard left and just abandon that story and start doing something else, then it would become the end of that arc. You know what I'm saying? Anyway.
Got it. So we farm XP by just going into arcs and then just hard left.
You
can sound of screeching tires.
Farm willpower.
It's mostly farming willpower. You don't get all that much additional XP for ending an arc. It's really just get your blood and your willpower back is sort of the biggest thing. I was happy to mention a lot of stuff for World of Darkness fans this episode. There's quite a lot of things for people who know more stuff. And tickled me pink. There's going to be even more as we come up. There's going to be some real obscure stuff that even the diehard fans might not be aware of in the coming episodes when it comes to this particular stolen artifact.
There's no garlic.
Tune in, big fans. There is no Dead Man's Crest this week, nor will there be next week. But we're looking to replace it.
Really?
Yeah, no. Yujun's gone this week, and Pryler's gone the week after that.
Fuck.
But we remember that we discussed we might be able to put a drawing board in its place about Dead Man's Crest. So we're gonna figure things out. But please come back Mondays still, at least for LA at Night, and hopefully we can get this additional little thing going on with Brian and Tux, and maybe even Tuesday if she can come back, that'd be great. But to see what you guys learned at Elysium and run down that whole list, I definitely think it's more appropriate as a drawing board episode. But me and Dave will talk about that. Thanks for joining us. I hope you had a good time. Like, comment, and subscribe. Share,
guys.
Feed.
Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed tonight's episode of
Instagram.
Die Party LA at Night. If you did, a follow would be appreciated. And if you're feeling real saucy, why not subscribe on Twitch? Get access to the cockpit and the best merch as well. As mentioned, no Wednesday game this week, but we will have Die Party Abyss, which is our Hollow Earth Expedition Nazi punching adventure. Pulp in the adventure game. The crew have some amazing characters, and that story, man, it's going places. We're going to J-Town. It's gonna be sweet. That's Jerusalem for you lingualist people.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they call it J-Town. I'm super certain.
You look it up. 1936, J-Town. That's what they called it. That's what the locals called it. And then on Thursday, we have the actual first play episode of Dark Party Surge, which is a Shadowrun Anarchy game. Everyone made fucking bonkers characters, so it's going to be great. We have a fucking troll, rigger who is named Mouse. So that's one of the characters. It's going to be great. But that's all we have this week. Like, there's no board games with Bitter Bros because Friday is my wedding eve, so that'll be fun. Yeah, and also no video games this week due to family visiting. So it's gonna be a very, very sparse week, all things considered. But I appreciate everyone coming back for the night streams. I would love to fill a Wednesday slot because this week is something. So we don't feel so lonely. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the episode, and we'll see you tomorrow for Abyss. Good night.
Bye.